the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
One of the most exciting days of the year is the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is a global day of generosity. Locally, we call it Giving Tuesday 402 in the Omaha Metro and Giving Tuesday 712 in Western Iowa. Here's Katie Forney of Share Omaha to tell you all about it.
Giving Tuesday is the biggest local giving day of the year in our region. It's a day for everyone to give in the ways that matter to them. You work it by going to shareomaha.org and finding those causes that touch your heart. The Rose Theater, a $100 donation can provide little Rosies free of charge to area preschools. And with the Union for Contemporary Art, a $15 donation can provide a free month of membership to the co-op studios. Please go to shareomaha.org and find those causes that matter to you. In fact, you can give early. Giving is now open.
Plan now for how you can support local nonprofits that matter to you. Click shareomaha.org.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Crossover. Crossover in the lane.
One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover continues to evolve. All right, time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Every Little Concrete here in Omaha at everlittleconcrete.com. Before we talk about a bloody mess, you guys realize something? That for Nebraska to go to a bowl game next year, it would be the first time since 2016.
Yeah,
but it would also be Nebraska would be required to do something they haven't done since that season, and that is win more than 3 games against Power 5 schools.
Let's go.
I'm just sticking with this daily theme of you want to talk about the schedule. So I'm going to give you nuggets.
So
Nebraska has not won more than 3 games against the Power 5 schools since they won 7 in 16.
Now, do they all have? So they have just 3 in a season.
Well, because you're figuring next year you're going to beat UTEP and Northern Iowa. So there's 2. So you're going to need 4 to become bowl eligible, and you haven't done that since 16.
Give me Colorado, Rutgers, Indiana, and Purdue. Yeah, they stink.
All right. Well, there's your 4 Power 5.
And
I'm just telling you,
there's
you
your
do
6
math.
wins.
You do Gary math.
I'd come up with 2 more if you want.
You're 8-4 guy.
Yeah, 8-4. Lock it in. 8-4.
8-4. Put it on the board.
I heard you putting that on the crossover yesterday, the afternoon crossover too. You guys got into that.
I just think it needs to be out there.
Okay.
But you're already on 8-4 guy?
Apparently, me and Will Compton are handshake meme.
Is he already? I thought he was. I thought he was 12-0.
I love it.
I thought he was like Monty or Gilly and Phoenix.
I don't know. It showed up in our mentions yesterday. Somebody. So let's see.
That's one of the great things about having a show is people listen to a whole bunch of other content for you and tell you what happened.
It's really great.
Hey, this will trigger you, or hey, this guy agrees with you.
Taylor Lewan said it's the Monday after Nebraska lost to Iowa, not making a bowl game, and Will Compton is explaining to me that the Cornhuskers are looking at a 6-0 start next year. Truly sick in the head.
Oh,
and I would say I'll do you one better, 7-0. 7-0, ranked in the top 15, and going to Ohio State.
They would be. Yeah, they would. It would be very similar to. Wow, honestly, you think about the last time they went to a bowl game. It'd be a similar start. 7-0.
They're going to turn the ball over half as much next year.
What happened in 16 going to Ohio State?
I don't care.
It was after a loss.
I don't care.
After an overtime loss to Wisconsin.
Tommy Armstrong left in an ambulance.
He died.
Yes, he was in scrubs on the sidelines.
Yeah, came back in a tracksuit.
He ran back on the field. He came back. He came back from the dead.
And Mike Riley told him, "I don't think you'll be able to play."
Yeah, we're gonna rule you at least as questionable. To
it was probably a good call by Mike after considering his visit to the hospital.
They ruled Max Crosby doubtful, and he played.
So
True. Tommy, what were you doing?
you know what? The
Coward.
season ended the way it ended, and Nebraska lost 40-10 to Iowa that year. If you think Nebraska's going to lose 40-10 to Iowa next year, I don't know I can't help you. I can't help you. It's not going to happen. 40, Iowa, 40, what world?
Slow, my friend. We just got to make it to portal season. Well, we got to make it to.
We're here.
No. We're right now. We're in elimination season of the current roster, so we're eliminating some guys.
Oh yeah, kick them out.
Still waiting on Minnesota to accept.
How's Coach Prime doing with elimination season?
Yeah.
I think he's going to let it evolve
Yeah.
on his staff and on his team.
Yeah, I think he's
ready to
I think
to build that thing back up.
I think some people are eliminating themselves from Colorado. That's what it seems like.
Build it up to break it back down. I believe that's a Lincoln Park. Like
Who do they
Wizards.
play before they come to Lincoln?
Oh, what a question.
Oh, good question.
Did they open with a Big 12 game?
Let's find out.
The welcome to the Big 12. Colorado plays on opening weekend.
Colorado will get it's even better than you could imagine. They will welcome North Dakota State to Folsom Field on August the 31st.
Little surprise that has remained on the schedule.
Clash of culture there. For
Now, North
everybody.
Dakota State is coming off a non-North Dakota State type year.
Doesn't matter. They're still North Dakota State.
Ooh, do you think there will be North Dakota State players that are on Colorado's roster?
I do not. I think it'll be the opposite.
Yeah.
Cormani McLean's
yeah.
going to
So
North Dakota State.
Cole Payton starting against Colorado?
Yes, perfect.
Will Cole
perfect.
Payton start against Colorado in Boulder or Colorado in Lincoln? All right, I'm done. I'm done.
And then he'll throw the bones. Then he'll throw the bones either way, whichever way he's doing it. When's the last time Nebraska had a left-handed quarterback? They should get one of them. That'd be fun. Everyone want to have one of those guys in the roster. Bring Cole Payton in. Just have him be a left-handed quarterback. Sounds good.
Man, left-handed quarterback.
I mean, Mike Stuntz doesn't count.
Okay, we've already had this discussion.
Yeah, we did.
I
Mike
think
Stuntz doesn't
it's
count.
Todd Gragnano, California kid back in the 90s.
Okay, nice. People are probably typing up their emails right now. What are you, an idiot? You don't remember Todd Gragnano?
You don't know anything about the
God,
program.
did he wear 12? I think he wore 12.
By the way, North Dakota State still kicking in the playoffs. 166-3 last week.
Yeah, they beat Drake.
Yeah, they did.
And not the singer.
Yeah. Or the Drake.
The
Oh,
Drake.
yeah.
The Drake and
Todd-
Seinfeld.
Hate
Drake
the
and
Drake.
Josh.
Yeah. Hate the Drake.
Yeah.
Love the Drake.
Todd Gragnano was here when there were some pretty good quarterbacks on campus
Well,
back in the 90s.
has Nebraska ever had a left-handed starting quarterback ever?
Oh, Dave Hum.
Dave Hum.
Okay,
that
Dave.
was the one.
Yeah,
that
we did this.
We
We did
we
this.
kept being reminded of Dave Hum.
Do not forget about Dave.
Just
Hum.
think, okay, so
you would have thought I would have learned that
hold
lesson
on here.
already.
This was the quarterback room at Nebraska in 1991. Mike Grant.
Yep.
The pride of Aurora, Tom Haas. Jerry Godowski, Mickey Joseph, Clester Johnson, Todd Gragnano, Keithan McCann, Brooke Behringer, Tony Veland, Matt Jones, John McMillan.
That's a sizable quarterback room.
And
Why are there
all,
so many people
and all
in
had
that
some
group?
type. Well, most had some type of presence too.
Nebraska this year had
Some on other sides of the football.
Nebraska this year had 1.5 guys and long ball.
And in
And
91,
Wojcik.
they had 15 guys at
Wojcik.
quarterback.
Don't forget Jack Wojcik.
And Mochi.
Are we sleeping on Jack Wojcik?
We have slept on him.
I think
Can
I think
Jack Wojcik be the
was
answer?
sleeping on Friday. Like too much turkey. Okay.
Can he be the answer?
AJ Bush, good one, Gary boy.
Oh, that's right.
Not a good one.
I don't think he ever started a game.
Yeah,
here, though.
you know what?
He had a great spring
Okay,
game.
Can I tell you
And he
something?
looked good when he was with Illinois.
So Josh just slipped something in there that
Yeah,
I think
he's-
needs to be revisited.
Iowa
I don't know
Western
what you- I don't know what
hater.
you're talking about.
the
We don't talk about him.
the reaction to AJ Bush at Nebraska was greatly different from the reaction to AJ Bush as a Reaver.
We don't talk about him.
Yeah, that's pretty evident.
Was that one season they went 6-6?
That one season. Yep.
No.
With Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yep.
Andrew Van Ginkel. What does Andrew Van Ginkel think about AJ Bush?
It's why Andrew Van Ginkel does not talk about Iowa Western.
Well, then AJ Bush went to Illinois, so it was okay, right?
It worked out for everybody, right?
And you got a plethora of quarterbacks that have won a national title.
Several.
You got Mike Loxley's kid.
Several.
right.
Mike Loxley's kid played here.
Yep. Whoa.
This is a Dave Hum phone call. I just know it.
Yes, pick it up.
Just let's just do some play-by-play here.
You can always. Josh is always.
Have you guys mentioned Dave Hum?
Josh is always so exasperated when he answers the phone.
Let me tell you about Mike Grant. I think Mike Grant got screwed.
I'll tell you what.
He was supposed to start that game in Columbia, and then they started some guy named Tom.
If you call into in between the hours of 10 and 2, you better be on it because Josh is answering that phone and he already has a slightly angered disposition.
Okay.
What do we get?
Yes.
It was not Dave Hum. I
Oh.
apologize. It was, what about AJ Bush?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
which is where we were. Perfectly fine to be exactly where we're at.
I was kind of intrigued when they were recruiting AJ Bush out of Georgia. I was like, okay, big guy. Yeah, it didn't work out. Okay, I got questions about the Pop-Tarts bowl.
Yes.
Please.
Brown sugar, cinnamon.
No, it's got to be strawberry because it's got to be messy.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree with that.
It's got to be messy. But now, will there be a human inside of the suit? That would make it even more appealing.
But you can't eat a suit, Gary.
No. It's you tempt faith. It's kind of like, you played Russian roulette before. You spin it.
Some of it's fabric, some of it's
Oh,
so where you bite in, you might actually bite the guy, and so
Oh.
that adds to it. Because what
You
they
have to
should
go
do,
to jail for cannibalism.
what they should do is have sound effects when they're eating the edible mascot. Yes, they need to have the sound effects like on the video board, and then it's got to be strawberry because that's messy.
Yeah, it looks bloody too.
What does a Pop-Tart sound like?
I don't know.
No. Like, what is it? What is it? What noise?
Oh,
does
like
he
what
make?
is the actual Pop-Tart himself?
When he's being
He
eaten?
seems like a jovial guy.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
huh?
going, hi,
Not there.
hi, it's breakfast, kids.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That's kind of what I'm imagining as well.
I hope he's a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart because that's the only Pop-Tart I want to eat.
Ooh,
Yeah, but you gotta have
Really?
it bloody.
Mm-hmm.
When you bite into it, you got to see red. You got to have it messy.
You want the sprinkles from
Yes.
the strawberry
Yes.
Pop-Tart
I
on the
w-
front to
yep.
appeal to the children.
No, I want to change whoever's in there their blood to brown.
sugar?
Brown sugar.
Really?
Like how many
that was
bites
the one I
do
always
you
turned
think
down
it would take
to get to
A giant,
to get
to
to
get
the person.
to eat it all?
a life-size Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
I don't know, 40
Um,
40 bites.
40 bites of a life-size.
Now I'm off on this
dang.
because I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I watched somebody eat a Popeye's biscuit like a potato chip.
That's awesome.
The whole biscuit went in their mouth like a potato chip, and I was stunned.
Isn't that like the saltine challenge where you just automatically choke and
Yeah.
Die.
yeah?
This guy wasn't in no challenge. He was hungry.
Did it have honey and
You
butter?
get the cracker dust.
So
Cracker
I
dust
watched
blocks
him.
your airwaves.
So he did the honey, he did the butter, and I don't know if he brought it from home, but there was some jam in there.
if he had all the sauce on there, he's good.
Yeah.
yeah,
he
I feel
made
like
it.
That's
That
gonna,
does
that-
change
That's
it.
But
gonna
it
probably
went,
slide
it just
down.
went like he just pushed it, like not even pushed it in. He just opened up the trap and put it in, and it was gone. And I was like stunned.
That's
I didn't
awesome.
know whether to call 911 because the guy's going to start choking, or to stand up and apply.
Yeah,
So,
I would go with the latter. That's
how,
impressive.
How many biscuits were in the basket?
I don't know. I just watched him do one, and then I was afraid that he was going to catch me staring, and there would have to be speaks.
Should have videoed.
So
it.
I like, okay, good on you. But he was a professional leader because of the way he handled the biscuit. And then I saw what he was doing with his chicken. So he was putting some sauce on the chicken. He had some sriracha on the chicken.
Oh, so this is not somebody that in your party.
No. They were in the restaurant.
Okay.
They looked like they were prepared to eat, but just the biscuit went into his mouth like a potato chip. And I thought, wow.
I've never seen anything like it. Was he
Stunned.
how big were his hands?
He a large individual.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Because some people can make it's like Victor Wembanyama throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
he
hands are
makes
too
a
big.
he makes a baseball look like a golf ball. That guy could probably make a
You know
biscuit.
what I
hence you
appreciate
can't
about
really
the
throw
guy?
Like a biscuit looks like a
Like
pie to me.
it looked like he was ready for Popeyes and he had a plan.
Okay.
You know, like
I
some
love
of us
that.
just were hungry. We're driving down the road. You're on 84th and you're like, hey, there's a Popeyes, and you pull
Yeah.
in. This guy looked like he went to Popeyes and he had a plan because he was looking forward to this meal so much.
This had been circled.
I respect that. That's how I treat my meals.
I mean,
Not all the time.
sometimes
sometimes
just like
it's spontaneous.
You know what? That looks good. I'm gonna.
I
go.
Okay,
hate
so are
wasting
you the
a
guy?
meal.
Are you the guy that's going to go to a restaurant on Friday night with your wife and like a couple of days before you've studied the menu?
Yes.
Indeed.
So you already know
I've
what
done
you
that.
want. You've looked at the menu.
I do my own research.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done that. I wouldn't say I do that on the reg, but I've done that.
Doctor says I should stop doing that. But
I like
screw him,
and I
what does
like
he
to
know?
take the I like to take suggestions.
No.
You
That's-
got you
no, that's
guys
completely wrong.
were you sitting with me? I think it was us at the College World Series, and I was like, "What do you think?" You know, we were downtown, and the person came by, and they were like, "Yeah, you could get this or this or this." I was like, "What? You know, what should I get?" And they suggested this thing, and I said, "No, I think I'll go with. I think I'll go with something else." You guys,
Yeah, okay, so do we,
were we all together with? I don't know.
but the trust level of the waiter or waitress when you go, hey, what do you like?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And
then
then
then you turn it down.
Yeah, or you name one and they go, yeah, I like that. And then you name, oh, I like that.
Well, because
then you realize they like everything.
It's difficult
They just want to get you to order.
Because when you ask for their suggestions, you feel obligated to take the suggestion, right? And there's those times that you have to throw it back in their face. They say, no, I'm not going to go with any of your suggestions.
You've chosen poorly.
I'm sorry.
See, I like the waitress or waiter that's like, nah, I wouldn't go with that.
Yeah. I don't want your,
I
remember what it was. I was
Major
getting
points.
chicken wings and they were like, well, we have these bourbon berry whatever wings. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just go mild.
Now, what was the look of disappointment on the face of the person?
They were disappointed.
Hey, it's wings and Popeyes on right now.
I mildly offended them probably, but they were. I mean, I probably offended.
See,
them
I will do this if I'm in a place that has tablecloths.
They were. Fine
I will
with it.
trust the maitre d, whoever is suggesting
that's a good
stuff.
rule of thumb.
Only if they have tablecloths.
I go by age.
What about the
if
red
the person
cup?
looks like they're close to my age?
No. Red cup.
Red cup.
I'm probably going to want a small pizza and maybe a trip to the salad bar for some water and my lettuce.
Yeah.
I knew a guy once who said the rule, and if you go to a restaurant with the red cups, you can't. It's automatically bad. And I think that's been challenged many times over the years.
Doesn't Spaghetti Works have?
Maybe
red
Tim would
cups?
like to call into the show.
I found somebody over the weekend, well, actually Thanksgiving, that they're a youngster and they don't drink out of like a sippy cup, but the only way to get them to drink like milk is now in a red Solo cup.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
What age are we talking about?
Hold on, I'm gonna show you the picture.
Why are you feeding this kid milk?
Well, they eventually drink
because
milk,
you know
man.
what?
Yeah, what?
Rum chata was not readily available.
But this is like a college age kid. Why do they?
No.
Oh, it's a child.
Yeah.
Yes, but will not drink out of anything except a red Solo cup.
Well, they're on
So
the right
clearly,
path.
those red Solo cups have been readily available around her house. So it says a lot about the parents
there's a
too.
So you equate the red Solo cup with there's something got to be good inside of it. That's how they parent.
Yep. Or something that you can drink in excess.
It's a good life lesson.
Yep.
It is. And then you hope like when she becomes, 15, 16 years later, it's not just a habit.
I'll tell you that I when I get a
Just carry
beer
around that red Solo
when
cup.
I get a beer at a place at like a bar, I don't want the beer to come in a regular pint glass. I want there to be a shape to the pint glass.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
I want there to be, kind of a ovalish.
Yeah, like
or a tall, skinny.
Yeah, like a Pilsner glass.
I don't want a regular old pint glass. I just feel like it's worse than a regular.
Well,
old pint
you know
glass.
what? I'm feeling you on that one.
Why
too.
can't you bring your own glass?
You should.
You should be
probably
able
could.
to. I think in a lot of places you can. I just don't think many people do it.
I mean, we've all been to the convenience stores like the Quick Trips places where people bring in their own like 64 ounce.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm getting a refill, so it's only 49 cents.
Well, they can't have you putting your glass from home on their tap.
No,
you're not touching the tap.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, I mean, anyone good would not be actually making contact with it.
Maybe they bring it over in their own glass and then you pour it into your own cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Then they don't have to clean that glass. You're just bringing it up there. Just refill, please.
You've never been to a place where you're part of the mug club?
Yeah, the mug
and they
clubs,
hold on to the
I guess,
mug?
exist. Okay.
Old Chicago, man. I was on the wall of foam at Old Chicago in downtown Lincoln.
I never made the mug club at Old Chicago. I always had aspirations of doing so. I always went in with the best intentions. Then I just kind of got lazy and forgot about it.
I believe our new boss made the mug club at one point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it got close.
Those mugs are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I did the so is the
Did you get
world
like the stainless
tour.
steel one?
I can't remember. It was so long ago, but you had to do the world tour.
Yeah.
To get on the wall of foam and get the mug.
The wall of foam.
He actually got into a raffle. He could come in and tell the story, but he got into some raffle at the end of the deal where he won like a super expensive bottle of like cognac or something like that.
Nice.
It came in this wild like genie bottle looking thing.
So it wasn't Hennessy.
I don't know exactly what it was,
Okay.
but
Drink?
yeah. I don't know exactly what it was, but the bottle's cool.
Our boss must be in a meeting.
Yeah. He's got his door closed. Day 2.
It is.
Day 2.
Josh?
My guy's got meetings.
What's up?
No, I just if you wanted more.
I'm a lot of meetings in this building. A lot of people getting things done. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to chat.
It's essentially the final month of the year. I know we're technically still November.
Who's going into the portal today, guys? Let's see. Who are we after? Are we still on K-State guy, or are we off that yet?
he's intriguing.
Okay. All right.
Old Will Howard.
Yeah. I always was okay with
I got
him.
a couple questions about Blake Shapen.
Blake Shapen.
From Baylor.
Blake Shapen from Baylor.
Let's try and nail one of these.
How about the Michigan State guys?
Yeah, the guys.
Interested in all those guys?
No.
How about the Indiana guy? He went to the portal yesterday.
Now, he kind of subtly is in the portal and no one's talking about him. Sorsby.
Oh, some interest. Okay. All right. Good. We'll have a clearer picture maybe at the end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Somewhere around.
But
there.
it'll be very quiet. That's my read on it right now is that their portal activity with a quarterback will be quiet because of the attention it brings.
Well, I guess you do have to figure out what the other guys are going to do.
Yeah, so the chain of command goes like this. Nebraska identifies who they would like, and they got the feelers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it's official, they can contact them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little discussion, maybe a visit set up, maybe a Zoomer. And then if there's some financials involved, they turn it over to 1890, and then 1890 goes to work.
Very transactional. People have asked us to maybe dust off the old wheel for the quarterbacks.
Do people really want that? I feel like we might be able to run that into the ground.
Here's
here
an
in a
email
week.
from Matt this morning. He says, with all these transfers hitting the market, it is tough for a simple-minded rube like me to keep track. Any chance you could revive an offseason bit by bringing back the wheel to take a look at transfer out?
Now, are we going to put current Nebraska quarterbacks on the wheel?
I think we would have to.
Sure.
Should we send them away?
No, you just evaluate their strengths and weaknesses.
I asked BC this. What happens if all three come back? One would definitely be off a regular scholarship. But what if all three are like, no, we're not leaving?
What are you going to do with Jeff Sims?
What if he doesn't leave?
No, he can't play.
I know I'm not going to play, guys.
What if he doesn't leave?
It doesn't matter. He can't play.
Yeah.
Guys, I found love with a chemist. I'm going to stay.
Yeah, he's going to go to the Big Ten Media Days again next year.
Yeah.
As a media member?
Hey,
student scribe.
He's our
here.
student roving reporter. Let's go to our roving reporter.
Do some content. That's a
Working
good
for
idea.
BTN now.
Yep.
Okay, here's another question.
Student you.
This has to do with this is in your world because it involves Creighton and Nebraska. What are you today? Are you a Husker today? Or are you?
I'm wearing a.
You're a Husker today because you won't talk about Creighton basketball.
You're more like Brian Ferentz.
Next up on the agenda is women's basketball tomorrow. So I guess
so you're still a Husker for a couple of days.
I'm a Husker until tomorrow night.
Okay.
Or
after the game.
Thursday
After the
morning.
game, then you morph back into a Creighton guy.
And we'll just see what happens.
Okay. So, you're both on TikTok, correct?
Oh yeah.
So the Nebraska volleyball team is very entertaining. They have a lot of personalities, and so they're all over TikTok. And they give you, like, for fans, I'm surprised this isn't, their fan base is a little bit older, but they do a lot of stuff like is in the locker room. Like they show you a lot of their personality, and they're a fun team.
Who's this?
The Nebraska volleyball program.
Yeah.
So Sunday we could have a very interesting dilemma on our hands.
Uh-oh.
Because one of the top volleyball players is dating one of the top Creighton basketball players.
And the Nebraska football quarterback
is dating one of his own.
She's dating two guys?
No, different.
Allie Baton.
Yeah. Nothing like that, Josh. Not yet, anyway.
So I noticed something, and then I went to the comments because that's what I do. So they did they were getting ready for their match on Saturday night against Minnesota. It was like earlier in the day, and so they did a TikTok. They're always doing TikToks. They do a lot of dances. They're actually like a fun team. She's wearing Creighton gear.
Oh.
To go on the other side, I have seen Baylor Shireman down in Lincoln for Husker game day before.
Is he wearing Nebraska gear?
And you know what is the discussion with him?
Nebraska headband?
Do you have any eligibility left to play football?
Oh my God. He could be the quarterback. Put him on the wheel. He threw for like a billion yards.
Baylor Shireman win a football game at quarterback for Nebraska? I'm going to say yes after watching him at Aurora.
One? I mean, like beat UTEP next year?
We're just asking for one game.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's out of eligibility now. Oh, hell, who knows?
Oh, yeah, he would be this
I
year.
mean,
yeah,
who
for
knows?
this
He'll
year,
come
yeah.
back and everybody gets another
That's
year.
true.
Yep.
In high school, he was sick as a quarterback.
I mean, he was awesome.
So, yeah, he likes hanging out at Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
He said he was going to go to Nebraska, but didn't want to play for a 7-25 program.
Whoa.
Yeah, nice, Gary. Wow.
Who's 7-0 now?
Yeah, they've at least won 7 games,
Yeah,
Baylor.
take that.
Receiving
Hey,
votes.
Yeah.
And Nebraska fans are nicer than Creighton fans after you lose. And Nebraska, they don't really care.
That's true. That is actually very, very true. All of these are true.
Josh, we're gonna get
Why?
so much crap for this.
Do you want me to delete it?
What's
No,
the
I don't want you to delete it. I do not
What's
want
the
you
full
to delete
question?
it. You can't delete it.
Can Baylor Shireman throw a touchdown pass for Nebraska?
Could Baylor
win a game.
Shireman quarterback Nebraska to 1 victory?
Yes.
Attaboy.
Yes, he could. Absolutely.
You know, over under on
Dude, he
responses to that is like
Hey,
11 and a half.
Hey, his man, that Aurora team that he was on. Remember, you had
What do you throw for like 6,000 yards?
Yeah.
In one year.
they had an incredible game against York. I remember watching.
Oh, the Dukes.
Aurora and York used to be like big rivals
Yep.
when they were in the same class.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Austin Allens of the world.
Mm-hmm.
There was a stretch, and there kind of still is, where Aurora was just churning out athletes.
Yep.
And now they got the Shiremans
I
because he's got a
remember
brother that's pretty
Andrew
good
Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Andrew Rodriguez.
Andrew Rodriguez.
With Aurora.
too. So
The Aurora boys.
you've got, I mean, that's kind of a dilemma, right? Because everybody loves the Nebraska volleyball players.
I can't
But,
believe she's wearing Creighton stuff.
I
There
mean,
might have to be a memo or an email sent out. Hey, let's
Respect Adidas gear.
Yeah, so where's she sitting and what color is she wearing?
I don't know. I've seen her at, she was at the Creighton, Iowa game.
Does he wear
Supporting
red
her
when
vote.
he supports her in volleyball, though?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Well, have you seen him in red?
I have not seen him in red. No.
He does come down to Lincoln quite a bit.
But he's not wearing any.
No, he goes neutral.
No,
Yeah, but she's supporting him.
Yeah.
I'd
this-
break up with him.
Yeah.
This can't be a one-way street.
So Baylor Shireman threw for almost 4,000 yards and 59 touchdowns his senior year.
How many interceptions did he have?
What an
Only
obvious
7.
question.
Only 7? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
7.
Can we get one more year out of him?
He threw less interceptions than Jeff Sims did in like 40 snaps this year.
Why is it always got to be about Jeff Sims?
It's okay, guys. He's happy in Lincoln. It's fun.
No, I think Sims only threw 6 picks, so he's good.
But he only threw 8 passes. I mean, the math doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff.
That's not a good QBR.
Yeah,
Really not.
his touchdown to interception ratio in all of high school was 88-20. My guy was slinging it.
Damn.
He is one of the better athletes in the last 15 years in this state.
Yeah. Yeah. And he ended up at Creighton, so he doesn't get the
Doesn't get the due
love.
Well,
process.
technically South Dakota State.
I guess so, yeah.
Seems like a pretty obvious yes to the.
And then he was
12
driving home and his car broke down in Omaha and he ended up being a Creighton Blue Jay for 2 years.
Just didn't make it. Just didn't make it.
That's the story and I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
How's our poll question doing?
100%? Yes.
We have 55% say yes.
Okay.
Early returns.
Very early.
Yeah. It'll even out. You'll see about 70.
Who would have been
Yes.
the quarterback that got away in the last 5 years that could have guaranteed that Nebraska would have been in a bowl game?
Zane Flores?
Well, did he get away? Or did we just like say it's fine? That was just Scott Frost, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not very good. Leave.
Yeah, I
You
don't
should pursue.
I don't know
Oklahoma
that you
State.
could say
Yeah.
he got away. I mean, he definitely got away, but that was more of Nebraska's doing.
Easton Stick. Now he's been out for a while.
Yeah. He's been in the NFL for like, what, 4 years now?
Bubba Starling. Just kidding. I know that was a long time ago.
Bubba would have taken Nebraska to a bowl.
Sure.
Bubba could come back now and take Nebraska
He
to a
could.
bowl.
Bubba's got eligibility.
What's he, like 32?
Yeah. Still kicking.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
I know he had a lot of injuries there towards the end, but still.
Yeah. I mean,
Still get him going.
that's all right. Yeah, he'll be fine. Remember, if you went through a list of all the quarterbacks that Nebraska's had like committed to their class over the years, they haven't had any, I don't think, quarterback like decommitments, guys that have just like left. About Tristan Gebbia, would he have taken Nebraska to a bowl this year? He was sitting on Ohio State's roster throwing out signals.
That's true.
The entire year wearing a vest. So
Yeah.
he got his TV time on Saturday.
Yeah.
In the big huddle.
Okay, so here I had to look this up because I wanted to be.
Tristan
There's a lot of
Gebbia.
stuff I said it's incorrect. I wanted to be correct here. Do you know the 2 backup quarterbacks to Justin Herbert are Nebraska guys?
I know Easton Stick.
Easton Stick and then
Max Duggan.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Council Bluffs.
Oh, Council Bluffs, I guess.
But we for Max, we claim him as Nebraska.
We claim Council Bluffs when it's convenient
because he
for
was
us.
good. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Like when we want to gamble, or it's Max Duggan or Iowa Western.
Iowa
we
Western.
claim
Yep.
Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
Or Council Bluffs Lewis Central High School.
Yep.
State champs.
People forget, or do they?
Well, it just happened.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't forget.
Not a lot of other Council Bluffs things we claim. Top 5 Council Bluffs things
Oh
we
no
claim.
no! Oh, I tell you what. So I've kind of
Pizza
I
King.
like
Lus Hills.
Pizza King's
I
good.
like outside of their
Krispy
red
Kreme.
light cameras. I like Council Bluffs, Lewis and Clark Monument.
Oh,
I like to go up there and I like to sit and watch planes land and take off at Epley.
That's a great spot.
The very good
Yes.
outdoor Hitchcock Park. Very nice.
You got your flight
Very
tracker
nice.
app?
I do not, but
It's flight tracker
So
season.
I discovered that spot during COVID. I didn't know it existed.
Little
And
Serenity
so-
up there?
Huh?
Little
There
Serenity?
is. There is. There's a little path that you can walk on. But I was up there during COVID and like it was about 2 months in. And so the air traffic was a little light. So there was like a plane here. There were hardly any cars on 29. Okay. So I would claim that from Council Bluffs.
What else do we do? What else do we take from
Mount
Council
Crescent?
Bluffs?
Oh,
Yeah,
Mount Crescent that was a jam in high school.
The casinos.
Yes.
Yeah.
We claim all those.
Definitely.
Stir concert.
Yeah, definitely the
Cove.
There you
Concert
go.
Cove.
Yeah, parking's so bad though.
What do you mean?
You ever tried to get out of Stir Cove after a concert?
Well, you got to park you don't park in the back, you park in the front.
I
but
would
it's
want
still
to
the
claim.
worst.
I'd want to claim Bent Tree. That's a nice
Oh,
golf course.
good one.
Bent
Yes,
Tree.
claimed.
Go to Stir Cove, park down by the landing and just walk along the water.
Not so much a Dodge Park fan,
long.
but I will claim Bent Tree.
It's a long run.
And I did say Pizza King. Pizza King is fantastic.
Joe's karting.
Yeah.
I've never been to Joe's.
The only
Karting.
restriction
Sounds
on
fun.
those carts is how fast you can go.
It sounds fun though.
That is
Never
a
been.
key wonder right there.
They have a place called Pirate.
Are we good with our Hooters or do we claim their Hooters?
Yeah, we like
excuse
their
me?
Hooters. We like their Hooters.
We like Council Bluffs Hooters better than Omaha
Yeah.
Hooters.
Well, it's right next to the casinos.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. It's closer to the Mid America Center, but yeah, and everything on that side is close to the casino.
I don't know. I'm going to go. I like the Omaha Hooters better.
I have not been to the new Omaha. Now the old
I've not
Omaha,
tried Council
Omaha
Bluffs
Hooters.
the Omaha Hooters on 120th and Center, the longtime staple there, that is now a Mexican restaurant. I
Hey,
believe.
wouldn't that be a great indoor football team?
the Omaha Hooters?
Omaha Hooters. The owl is their mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Union
Yeah.
Omaha
Yeah.
has
The
a
Omaha
owl
Hooters.
for their mascot.
Get rid of the beef. Call them the
Yep.
Omaha Hooters.
The Omaha Hooters. The
Omaha
Omaha
Hooters.
Hooters.
Brought to you by Hooters.
Can we
Just think of the gear.
Yeah.
Can we just
Well, you keep
colloquially-
the same as the beef because they're orange.
And you
Yeah.
give Hooter shirts to all the 8th grade boys.
Yeah.
They're like, hell yeah.
Well, it's always cool to find out where you went on vacation when you were a youngster because you had the Hooters and then whatever city it said. San Diego. Oh, you were at the Cadillac. of
Hooters, Starkville, Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm like, Lincoln? No.
They're
Miami? Oh, wow.
Hey, the one in Daytona Beach though.
I bet.
Their service is pretty good.
Their service.
I bet their service
Yes.
was great.
Clearwater.
Probably not close to the Omaha
The
Hooters, but-
Clearwater one is kind of disappointing.
What about,
Fort
that's
My-
the
what about
OG.
Atlanta?
Yeah, that's the OG.
I feel like Atlanta would be good
So
too.
Fort Myers Beach had a good one. It went away with the hurricane, but it wasn't bad.
If you want wings and boobs in Atlanta, you're not going to Hooters.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah, they're a distant second.
stopped at
That's
a- I
true.
stopped
As
at a-
somebody that might go to the Peachtree race next year, what would you suggest?
I stopped at a place in
Magic
Atlanta over the summer, just outside of Atlanta, that was a wings place. Everybody there, and this is like post 8 o'clock. We got into
Yeah.
town a little bit late, and everybody that was in that bar, and it was like a Thursday night, was completely like blackout drunk.
Yeah.
It was
That's awesome.
It was amazing.
And
I was
what, and
just
what time was this?
like 8:30 on a Thursday.
Nice.
It's just, I mean, just like people stumbling around. And
Yeah.
it's like zombies that are on everywhere.
I love it.
It was fantastic. The wings were good. I got lemon pepper. It wasn't at the place you're thinking of, though. It was it was called
Hey, I never
Taco Wing or
I
something
never
like
asked you, and I think we've all kind of spent some time in the South as a visitor or have lived there. You never had a take on the billboards that you find on 75.
Oh,
The major freeways of the South.
like kind of like Jungle Law, like that type of deal?
Yeah. But there's, a lot of strip joints are featured.
Yeah.
Sex clubs, and they've got humongous billboards.
And there's a lot of billboards. There's a billboard about
yes, there is.
every 20 steps, somewhere around there. They got a lot of them.
Why do we seem to be lacking in billboards in Omaha? Except for around like 70 seconds.
There's a certain law firm that has monopolized the.
We love that law firm.
Yes, but every billboard.
Well, they have a really cool digital billboard as you're going back from Lincoln to Omaha. Is it right by? Just outside of Ashland?
The one that used to say the scoreboard?
No. That'd
be Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah, that's Blue Cross Blue Shield. But this one is closer to on the other side of the Platte River in Lincoln. Okay. But there's as you're going.
Oh, Waverly. That you talk about? They put a digital one up there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, that one. That's where I first saw that the big Jeff Sims. That's at the exit to get off on Cornhusker.
It always comes back.
But
to
this
Jeff
one is
Sims.
when you're coming back towards Omaha. They got on the left hand side. They got this gigantic, really good looking digital billboard. I just thought, why don't we have more billboards?
I love a digital.
Like the
billboard.
biggest billboard on 80 between Omaha and Lincoln is the Trump barn.
It's true.
Kind of
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
It is.
Or the lottery, the lottery price, or the
yes,
what you can win in the lottery.
They ever want to put that on the barn too?
We need more gas stations.
What the
out there,
Powerball
too.
jackpot's at, right below the Trump barn.
Shout out to that Shell station that popped up at like 420. Right there in the middle.
Yes.
That's a great spot. I've been wanting a gas station on that side of the road forever, and they really filled that need. I stopped there Thanksgiving night.
Nice.
Got 2 Gatorades for $5 and some gas.
Wow.
Love a good deal, don't you?
Yeah, Gatorade Zero, the big ones.
Did you actually have to go inside, or were you curious what they had inside?
No, I went inside and I needed a Gatorade because
okay.
I was.
You had to replenish those electrolytes.
Yeah,
I get it.
As my body was not in the best place.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That happens
from Thanksgiving.
That'll happen.
But thank you, just a public thank you to that Shell station for just being there.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
More
gas stations, more billboards. That's what we need.
Well,
also, so my thing this morning is I needed air in my tires.
Like we all do because it's cold and
right.
Yeah.
So the thing came on and it was like, you need air in your tires. I'm like, all right, let's give it 6 days and let's get some air in the tires. And I finally did this. I finally did this morning. And you got to pay $2 for air now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this
come
is
on now.
we don't have time here. Air should be free.
It should be free.
$2 for air.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Where are you paying $2?
I did over
Everywhere.
at over on Saddle Creek.
Just to get
Baker's.
the machine to start? You got to put in $2.
The most I paid is a quarter.
Every case, sorry to name names, every Casey's air is $2.
Wow.
It allegedly goes to a charity, which is very commendable,
okay.
but
It's not going to the
Whoa!
I could have got air right away, and
I'd like to see a receipt.
I turned $1 down in the Hastings area because I was like $1 for air. I'm not doing that.
That's excessive.
And 5 days later, I'm sitting here paying $2.
You're saying, man, that $1 was a good deal.
$2 for air is pretty exorbitant.
And they have a credit card scanner on there.
Oh my god! Air should be free.
Are you limited on the time of air?
You must be.
I'm hoping it's unlimited air.
I got it all in the time allotted.
Okay.
But
did you have to do one tire?
I did 4 tires.
Oh, you did 4. Okay.
What if
Top
you
them all off?
okay? What if you went to a tire store? Would they give you air for free?
Yeah, could you just like pull up to one of those places and they're like, we'll give you air. Go pull in. We'll give you some air.
Here's your oil change, and don't you worry. The air, it's on us.
You need an appointment. Do all these things.
So just like you, I found a Hy-Vee that did not charge for air.
It's good.
But I did notice something.
Good find.
Is because the warning thing goes off, and my play is, well, it's going to warm up, so I'll be okay.
Yeah,
so
it'll
I
go
need to put
right.
air in
I'm
my
going to put the car in my garage for a
That'd
few
be good.
days.
Yes. To watch the people like at the Hy-Vee at 90th and Center that plug in their Teslas and just sit in their car.
That's what I would
It's
do.
like quite the community.
I mean, you guys were just at the Gretna Hy-Vee. They got
Yeah.
a couple spaces out there.
Oh, yeah.
I just
some EV spots.
park it out there, slap the thing in, then go into Hy-Vee for like an hour.
Hey, you can belly up to the bar if you want.
Exactly.
Like I'm putting air in my car, and there's like 5 people sitting in their Teslas. I'm like, that's such the community.
Honestly, I've tried
If
to,
you know.
I've done the preliminary math on like gas to Tesla,
Yeah.
and how much it's tough on the initial investment, obviously, for the Tesla, but I would really like to not pay for gas.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. And certainly I would not like to pay for air.
Yeah, that's just
Does Tesla get
Ridiculous.
free? Can you charge your tires for air too with the
Don't
Tesla?
believe
That's where they get you. Yeah, you think that gas is free, but you're still gonna have to pay for that air.
Still pay for air.
Yeah. Don't think you're getting out that scot.
Damn it.
Yep.
Elon.
They're always charging.
Air should not cost.
No.
Hey, before COVID, it was free.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I know.
The little machines that ran outside of a convenience store.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know what happened.
$2 for air.
I paid $8 for air.
Yeah, that's silly.
And now it's getting cold outside, so more people need air, and the machines will start not.
So you're talking about supply and demand. So now they're going to jack that thing up to $3.
There's a line for $2 air.
Yep.
So essentially, you're paying as much to wash your car if you do it by yourself as you are to put air in.
I think car wash still costs a little bit more, unless you get the monthly subscription.
I'm a monthly subscriber.
Oh yeah, then I think you're probably good.
Do you cancel it in the winter? Or?
So I
know
thought
you
about
want
this.
to wash the salt off.
Yeah, so I thought about this, but then I drove by one of the sub places that I have a subscription to, and the line was deep. And I'm like, maybe I won't cancel it.
Apparently, Costco is the way to go for air.
Where is the air machine at Costco?
Apparently, you just pull right up and they'll slap it there and there for you.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
nice.
Then you can go in and get a hot dog and a Coke for $1.50, and you end up paying less for air than you do at Baker's.
That's a good hot dog too. You can do a lot worse.
Very good.
The samples, they've upgraded the samples at the Dodge Street Costco.
Oh,
they were
they
were on point the other day.
132nd ish, 20th.
So I go in there, I sample. I go in there like I might go there today, like this
Just have
afternoon,
lunch.
3
Just
o'clock.
walk around,
and I sample all the stuff, and then I end up buying all the stuff that I'm sampling.
If you can find
good.
yourself the spinach artichoke dip that they had at my last visit,
They had these
stick
frozen
around.
pizzas. I think it's the white whale of frozen pizzas.
I know what you're talking about.
In the
because
yellow
they were-
box?
Yep, they were on the sample on Sunday.
Those were awesome.
Oh.
Flying off the shelves. Like crazy. All right, people are sending in their free air locations, which is
We need to
good.
share this.
Yes.
We all are like
There
this.
should be a social media
Let's
account.
go against paying $2 for
Yep.
air.
Damn demand.
Come and Go doesn't charge.
okay. So there's some play. I just I got in a pinch. I got caught up, as Simple would say. I was in a pinch. I had to pay $2 for air.
Okay. Discount tire. Bernie says puts air in it for you.
Yeah, that's what Sean says too.
They
Bam.
they send me frequent emails like, "Hey, if you need
Get air?
charge, come on in."
All right.
That's a good look for them.
That is, because once they have you, then they're like, you know what? This is not air in this tire that it needs. It might have, right there. That's not good.
Oh, that's okay, Gary. I got the warranty on the tires, so if I ever need to replace the tire, it doesn't cost me anything.
Beautiful.
You're such a good man.
You can hack life if you just think about it a little bit.
I like that.
all
That's
it takes.
deep.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, time for you guys to go.
Okay.
I got to go to a meeting.
Got a meeting.
Oh, good.
In this building?
I know, crazy, isn't it?
Shocked.
Now, have you spoken with our new fearless leader?
Briefly. I will call him Mike until I get to know more about him.
Did you approach him or
no, I was asked over the weekend if we could have a meeting
a meeting
to say hello.
Yes.
And so we had a meeting
All right, good.
to say hello.
All right.
And that's what the meeting was.
It's a mutual thing.
This will make Josh real happy. We had a meeting to say hello. And then the meeting was over. I said hello and the meeting was
And then
done.
we have another meeting.
Hi. Goodbye.
But I got a Google Calendar invite.
Always. You should see how many calendar invites I have.
I hate it.
I get a dot on all my days for the rest of time because there's something on there. Well, that's all right.
I'm supposed to have a meeting to say hello to somebody, but you have 45 different events scheduled.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
That is the crossover, powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everylevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
Hyannis? Thank God you had Terry Keneally, or we would not like you in Omaha. Just telling you.
I feel like Nebraska City's one of us.
I mean, Hemingford? You should have just gone to Wyoming. Why did you insist on staying in Nebraska? Same with you people in Whitney. Just go to Wyoming.
Go consolidate your schools.
Yeah. You know what, Crawford? You're not good enough for Wyoming. Just go to South Dakota.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Cold start Tuesday morning, temperatures in the teens with wind chills in the single digits. Expect partly sunny skies the first half of the day with sunshine in the afternoon. A little breezy at times with south and southwest winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. Highs in the mid-40s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Our family invites yours to gather around our table this holiday season and feast on the warmth and abundance of fresh food and good company. Groups of all sizes are welcome. We promise to have something for everyone. So toast the end of the year with those you love best. Let our kitchen be your kitchen. We invite you to come home for the holidays at Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian Steakhouse.
In the historic Haymarket, Lincoln.
You could go to point A to B, or you could go to point X. Experience the stunning new 2024 BMW X Series lineup for yourself at Onyx Automotive. The BMW X range. Your next X venture starts here. Lease the new 2024 BMW X1 X-Drive 28i for just $549 a month at BMW of Omaha. Online at bmwofomaha.com. See dealer for details.
Today is Giving Tuesday. Give local and celebrate what we can do together in 24 hours. Donate to your choice of hundreds of local nonprofits using Share Omaha and Share Iowa. You have the power to make a difference in our community by giving today. Giving Tuesday 402 is powered by Share Omaha, and Giving Tuesday 712 is presented by Cattleman Steel Fabrication Inc. Donate and give local before midnight tonight at Share Omaha and shareiowa.org.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is 5 $10 vouchers for just $25 to Story's Coffee Company. Story's Coffee Company offers tea, smoothies, breakfast, lunch, and heavy appetizers, plus craft beers and wines. They also have live music select evenings. Story's Coffee Company, 114th and Dodge, Midtown Crossing, and Gretna. This week's half-off deal.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. Happy Tuesday, day 2 of Sheets Week.
Merry Sheetsmas.
Or Sheetsmas, as we dive into the spreadsheets yet again today, unpacking another fantastic, fun season of Nebraska football. We will have that today. We'll be joined by our esteemed guests, Allan Bell, Jacob Bigelow. That's the lineup, powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Of course, with Jacob, we'll talk about the Hoops affair scheduled for Sunday afternoon.
Hoops Mageddon.
Creighton coming in at number 15, and Nebraska coming in at number 44, receiving votes.
RV.
Don't know why they don't have a top 44, but it seems kind of rigged against Nebraska, if we're being completely honest. But we'll get that with Jacob and Allan, of course, with the NFL reaction, overreaction today. Have some topics that the writers have drawn up for us, and we'll throw those at you.
Give some thinkers this week, guys.
Monday Night Football, a sporting spectacle for the ages last night.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. And Josh
sickos.
was sitting up there on Twitter on his high horse, and he said, you don't have to like this. You don't have to watch this.
You don't have to watch
Some
it.
people, Josh, like football that way. It's fun. Yeah, I like the Bills, Chiefs in the playoffs. That's cool. But also give me a game where there's only one touchdown. It's in the fourth quarter with a minute left.
Give me competent teams doing competent things.
I'd rather watch Josh Dobbs try to throw 8 interceptions.
He's no longer the pastronaut. They dropped the P on that thing.
So I always remember the statement that Matt Rule gave kind of about quarterbacks. And this has always been the case. I don't think this is groundbreaking stuff, but So quarterback comes in and they're going on the fly just like Josh Dobbs did. And he like shows up, and then the next day he's on the field. He's playing. He's got the wristband and everything. He's just going, right? You don't have time to think about anything. You're just going. And now we've had a couple weeks to like think about some things and install some things and like figure out how to actually get him to be the quarterback of this team. And guess what? It looks worse. It looks a lot worse because the quarterback has moved into the second stage of, oh, there's a lot coming at me here, and I have to be a real quarterback. Instead of just, why don't they just keep him in stage one forever and ever?
Forever.
Yeah, just or just churn in and out quarterbacks every week. Matt Rule tried that this year.
It worked until it didn't.
We're going to find every quarterback in stage one, and then we're not going to move them on to stage two. Once they get to stage two, it gets bad. And if you get to stage two, hopefully you get to stage three, which is serenity, confidence and knowledge of the entire thing. But Josh Dobbs not there yet. Nebraska quarterbacks not seem to be there yet either. But yes, Josh, a sporting spectacle for the ages and an ode to the Big Ten West, our good friend. We will miss thee.
A lot of people paying tribute to the Big Ten West.
All
of a sudden.
I would. There's bad football out everywhere. It's not just the Big Ten West, that's for sure. We'll take a look as the portal turns. Lots of quarterbacks entering the transfer portal yesterday. There will be more today and tomorrow and the next day and like for the next couple weeks. And the portal got hot like yesterday afternoon. All of a sudden, boom, here comes every Big Ten quarterback in the transfer portal. Or at least Indiana's and all of Michigan State's. Anyway, we'll keep an update on Tony White, who interviewed for San Diego State's head coaching job.
Boo. I mean, congratulations to him. But boo.
Thank you, Tony. The college football playoff rankings are coming out tonight.
It's a big one.
This is actually the one that you probably, well, one of the ones, this one and next week, that you actually need to think about. There's a couple different ways it could go. There's not a whole lot of variations and permutations of the way it could go this weekend. There is one thing that could make everything go haywire, and that would be Alabama beating Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Then we're screwed, America.
Then there's going to be a very hot debate, and it'll be like, well, no, I think Ohio State should get in. No, Georgia has to get in. They won the. So it'll be all these areas, and then maybe one loss Oregon, or I'm sorry, one loss Washington is sitting right there too. And all these areas of the country are just yelling about their teams, and their conferences teams. It could be fun. We could also have Florida State lose this weekend.
Really help a lot of people out.
Because if Florida State loses, they don't have an argument. They can't get in with their one loss. So there's ways that it could work out very normally, and there's also ways that it could go haywire. We'll take a look at both of them coming up this weekend. Colorado heads into panic mode as they lose all of their quarterback commits for the next two classes. And they are currently recruiting at the bottom of the Power Five. Recruiting rankings for the 2024 class, not as intended so far for Coach Prime. So that is the show that's set up. Yeah, I know. It's surprising, right?
Zero quarterbacks would put you at the bottom, yes?
Well, no quarterbacks for 24, and then they lost the other one for 25. But their 24 recruiting class is near the bottom of the Power Five.
Not just quarter. Okay, I follow.
Not just quarter. Yeah, their whole recruiting class. So we'll take a look at what's going on there. Also, I've seen the graphic going around about Luck in Nebraska football. Don't talk to me about Nebraska football and Luck.
Andrew Luck?
All right. They're just not good, and they haven't been good for many years. So we'll dive into that. I have a couple of takeaways from the graphic that is going around on Twitter right now. That's the show. Once again, lineup power with the referees, John Higgins Weather Guard. We'd love it if you got in touch. 402-951-1620. On the 42 Degrees The Source hotline, you can tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, on the JTech Constructions on Twitter feed. Speaking of Twitter, Josh, we'll have to move around maybe the tweet bag tomorrow because Matt Rule is having his unpacking of the season press conference tomorrow with maybe a look toward the offseason and what's to come.
Be a part of that.
Yeah, so we'll have that, and then big Rule overreaction. So we'll move some things around tomorrow. Mitch probably gets wiped out from the show. Sad.
Whoa.
I know, because he's got to.
Oh, he's got to cover it. Okay.
He's got to cover.
I follow.
Unless we want to talk to him afterwards. But we're kind of packed tomorrow, so There is that piece of it. You can email Connor at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank inbox. You can, what are other ways you can get in touch with the show, Josh? You can comment on our YouTube.
Yeah.
Do that. Where there's currently a conversation about Casey Thompson going on.
Can I
in the
address
chat.
this very quickly?
Please do.
No one has ever called Casey Thompson CT11. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh, it's a normal thing, Josh. You have the initials and the number.
HCMR.
JS7.
What if we talked like adults?
HH10. I think people just call him HH. What about CP12?
CP3?
CP12. That's what people call him, right?
No one's ever called anyone that ever.
Chubba. That's what they call him. CP12.
No, they call him Brock's brother.
This is happening. CP12. Not CP3. And Brock's brother. And Nebraska's quarterback next year might be WH18.
Oh,
that rolls off the tongue well.
I'm
actually with you.
Triple
Don't do
B,
this.
They're just giving you ideas.
Don't do this. We could call him Casey Thompson. It's fine. Remember SF7? Remember EC7?
It's coming at me too fast. I got to think about it too long.
Remember JL5? Remember ZT13? Remember JG12? Remember TL13? Remember TA4? No, these are all Nebraska quarterbacks. TA4, 2 AM, AM2.
I don't know that one.
Yep. Yeah, so you could go with any of those. That's what I've always called the Nebraska quarterback. What's wrong with you, Josh?
I call them by their names because they're human beings.
Send in your favorite My favorite quarterback in college football this year is DH10.
Derrick Henry?
Nope. Deacon Hill. I love that guy. He should play left tackle, but I love that guy. He's awesome. DH10 going up against JM7 this weekend.
That's too many names.
Yeah, JJ's or no 9 JM9, one of those two. But yeah, that's totally normal. That's what people do, Josh. All right, we're off and running with the show. We will wish you Merry Sheetsmiths when we come back. Today's sheet that we will be diving into: sacks and turnovers, explosive plays, game-changing plays. I came up with a great Iowa stat last night that I've been tracking. Also, a look at Nebraska, what they did in the sacks and turnovers game. Spoiler alert, the turnovers were not so good. A few takeaways from that when we return on a Tuesday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
You can help a child in need experience the joy of opening a gift this Christmas morning. Join 1620 The Zone as we stuff the truck to benefit Toys for Tots this Friday from 3 till 7 and Saturday from 11 till 4 at the Zone Studio parking lot off 50th and Dodge. Help those in need this holiday season by donating a new unwrapped toy. All the info at 1620thezone.com with Molina Healthcare, 2 Men in a Truck, J-Tech Construction and Solar, and 1620 The Zone.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
The holidays are here. This holiday season, we encourage you to come support our local stores in Omaha. And Westwood Plaza has everything you need to find that perfect gift. Chippy's in Westwood Plaza is Nebraska's only British market and bakery, offering food and beverages following traditional British recipes with ingredients imported from England. Whether it's pies, pasties, buddies, or even butterbeer, there's something for everyone. Stop in for some jolly good treats to make this year's holiday stand out. And a Chippy's gift card is the perfect gift to give. Stop into Chippy's British Market and Bakery, 123rd and Center inside Westwood Plaza. Ahi Sushi Ramen and Grill is an Asian fusion casual dining restaurant inside Westwood Plaza with a wide variety of Asian cuisine dishes available like sushi, hibachi, curry, ramen, and teriyaki. You're sure to find a favorite. If you're planning a holiday get-together, try a party tray from Ahi Sushi Ramen and Grill. Check them out at 124th and Center inside Westwood Plaza. Everything you need to shop locally for the holidays is at Westwood Plaza in Omaha.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online. Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on power tools, automotive jacks and stands, and portable inverter generators this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Omaha Maverick women's basketball hosts the University of Illinois Chicago Friday night at 7 o'clock at Baxter Arena. Hear all of the Omaha women's basketball action Friday night on 1180 The Zone.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen.
And former Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez.
You know the After Hours Lounge is open from 6 to 8 p.m. when the sports schedule allows.
And guess what? I'm stopping by from time to time.
When Rob Love's off for the night, Adrian's going to stop by and talk all things Nebraska football, what he's been up to in the NFL, and we're going to still talk all things high school sports.
And who knows what we'll get into. Maybe you'll get to ask me some questions, so stop by from 6 to 8 p.m. and check out the show.
Brought to you by Bellevue University and Papillion Sanitation here on 1620 The Zone.
One of the most exciting days of the year is the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is a global day of generosity. Locally, we call it Giving Tuesday 402 in the Omaha Metro and Giving Tuesday 712 in Western Iowa. Here's Katie Forney of Share Omaha to tell you all about it.
Giving Tuesday is the biggest local giving day of the year in our region. It's a day for everyone to give in the ways that matter to them. You work it by going to shareomaha.org and finding those causes that touch your heart. When you support organizations like the Victory Boxing Club and Community Center, a $100 donation can make a year possible for youth there. And with a $50 donation can provide emergency utility payments. Please go to shareomaha.org and find those causes that matter to you. In fact, you can give early. Giving is now open.
Plan now for how you can support local nonprofits that matter to you. Click shareomaha.org.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, Mary Sheetsmith's day number 2. We are looking at sacks and turnovers today. You could follow along, by the way, with the spreadsheet. I know I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you here. At Connor Happer, I just tweeted out the spreadsheet. Josh, throw me a RT.
Yeah.
At Happer Show as well, so people can follow along. Sacks and turnovers.
Second day of Sheetsmith, my true love gave to me a spreadsheet on sacks and turnovers.
Oh, you could have made it rhyme.
I know.
A sacks and turnovers spreadsheet. Thank you. There we go. We put it together. There's also a third page on the sheet that includes all of the teams in the Big Ten West since 2014, since the Big Ten West started, and their history with sacks. So I have a stat on Iowa for you here in just a little bit. But you go back. So Nebraska this year was they gained 14 turnovers on the defensive side. That ranked 93rd in the country, so near the bottom of the country, and just turnovers gained. They were dead last in the country, of course, in turnovers lost. They lost 31 turnovers. Nebraska ended up finishing this year with a minus 17 turnover margin. Went back into the Nebraska record book, Josh, because I thought that sounds like a big number. And
good on you.
Yeah, I was right. So Nebraska only only 2 other times since they've been keeping records, which is since 1946, since after the war.
People say that.
Since 1946, only 2 other times since Nebraska had that many or more turnovers lost than they gained in a season. -17 here in the year of our Lord 2023, -17 in 2007, which famously turned out really well for Nebraska, and the largest disparity in turnover margin came in 1967 when Nebraska turned it over 18 more times than they gained turnovers that year. -17 for historical context is tied for the second worst margin of all time. And keep in mind, this is a school that has a now decorated history of having horrible, horrible turnover margins. They are routinely in the -10 range. And especially it's been that way over the last, 15, 20 years here. Only one time in the Big Ten era, since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten since 2011, has Nebraska had a plus turnover margin. That was in 2016 when they went +5. They also went even in 2019. So they're minus every year. But this year, I think it's fair to characterize it as minus.
Ooh, that sounds really bad.
I'm going to call it minus, Josh. Their turnover margin currently ranks 129th in the country, which is second to last, only in front of Temple, former Matt Rule Temple. So looking at what Rule had done in his past, I always like to do first year versus others, right? So 2013 Temple, Rule's first year, they only got 13 turnovers, which was near the bottom of the country, 116th in the country. And they were actually not bad, and they didn't turn the ball over much. Well, I shouldn't say much, but they were okay. They were okay. They only turned the ball over 19 times that year, and they were 41st in the country in that category. So they ended up -6 in 2013 at Temple, and then it was corrected in year 2 when a guy by the name of Hassan Reddick came along at Temple, and they gained 30 turnovers that year, which was 11th in the country. They still turned it over quite a bit in the second year at Temple. They ended up with +3 in his third year, and then in his fourth year at Temple, they were +6. Of course, they won 10 games in each of his final 2 years at Temple. At Baylor, horrible first year, as is tradition. 118th and the turnovers gained, and 111th in the turnovers lost, -14 that year compared to Nebraska's -17 this year. Near dead last in the country, 124th in the country in margin. Year 2 at Baylor, they didn't get many more turnovers, but they certainly, course corrected a little bit on offense. And then in year 3, conference championship year at Baylor, they gained 30 turnovers and only lost 19. And they had a +9 turnover margin, or a +11 turnover margin, which ended up being top 10 in the country. So the trend here is that this is not so much a year 1 to year 2 thing if you're looking for a real huge improvement, but it's more of a year 2 to year 3 thing in the history of Matt Rule. Just looking at some of his turnover margins, they took the big jump. I guess they took the big jump year 1 to year 2 from Temple. They took the big jump year 1 really to year 3 at Baylor, where they were -14 in his first year and then +11 in his second year. I also put Nebraska historically on here since 2013. Nebraska by year since 2013. This is, regardless of coach. -11, -2, -12, 5, -7, -2, even, -11, -5, -3, and then -17 this year. That, Josh, is bad.
Damn.
I'm sure there's other ways to describe it, but yes, that indeed is bad. Sacks. Matt Rule famously said one time, if you get 40 sacks, you win the conference, or if you get 40 sacks, you win 10 games.
I remember that.
Nebraska did not get 40 sacks this year. They were pacing for it for a long time, and famously, they did not win 10 games. 32 sacks is Nebraska's highest sack gain total since 2013 when Randy Gregory was really getting after it. So that's a good number for Nebraska this year. They ended up finishing, with about a little over 2.5 sacks a game, which is pretty good. The thing that you'll notice on the sacks, when you look at rules, margin, and then Nebraska's, in rules, the guy comes along in like the second or third year. Hassan Reddick shows up, and he's getting 10.5 sacks himself in rules fourth year. James Husker Lynch, 13.5 sacks for Matt Rule's 2019 conference champion Baylor group. But man, Nebraska ended up being just +3 in the sack margin this year. They sacked the quarterback 3 more times than they were sacked this year. In his first year at Temple, they were -13. In his first year at Baylor, they were -15, and then took a jump in year 2 to year 3 at Baylor, and then year 1 to year 2 at Temple. Once again, I know it's kind of a lot I'm throwing at you here, but you could follow along with me on the spreadsheet that I just tweeted out. So sacks category, it was fine. Bottom line, it was fine this year for Nebraska. You want that to be you want to sack more, and you want the quarterback to be sacked less, obviously. Nebraska had their quarterback sacked the second most times over the last decade in Nebraska history this year, only behind last year when they gave up 33 sacks. But historically, Matt Rule teams not been too great at protecting the passer. Now, can you make up for that on the defensive end? In 2019 at Baylor, they did. They sacked the quarterback 46 times, and they gave up 38 on offense. Not a terribly awesome margin, but they sacked the quarterback 46 times, and that's usually going to lead to a pretty good defense. So that was, that's okay. That one turned out okay for Nebraska. Obviously, turnovers sink the entire thing if it ends up being as bad as it was, which it did. And then I looked at the third page of the spreadsheet that I have is all of the sack totals of Big Ten West teams since the Big Ten West has been in existence. All right.
Okay.
So here's the Iowa stat for you from today or from last night, which I tweeted out at Connor Happer last night. I thought this was unbelievable, and I think it speaks more to Iowa. They're not explosive in any way, shape, or form, right? Iowa just became, finishing out this year, the first and only team in Big Ten West history to have the least amount of sacks in the division. They sacked the quarterback the least amount of times.
Oh.
And they won it.
I would not have guessed that.
They're not explosive.
I would have guessed they got to the quarterback quite a bit.
No. Iowa sacked the quarterback.
They have a good defense.
22 times this year.
That's
they have a good
lot.
defense in terms of yards. They don't grab too many turnovers, and they don't sack the quarterback too much. They're just good. They're just good in the conventional way. The records of other teams, other Big Ten West teams that have had the least amount of sacks out of teams in the division that year, I posted last night. Northwestern in 14 went 5-7. Illinois went 5-7 and 15. Purdue went 3-9. Purdue's on here a couple times. Nebraska in 17 went 4-8. Wisconsin in 2018 went 8-5. So that's the only other bowl team on there. Purdue went 4-8 in 19. Purdue went 2-4 in 2020. Northwestern had the least amount of sacks in 21. They went 3-9. Northwestern had the least amount of sacks in 22, and they went 1-11. Iowa somehow had the least amount of sacks in their division this year, went 10-2, and maybe should have been 11-2, and won the Big Ten West. Hilarious job by Iowa. I mean, if there was a better Iowa stat, I don't think I could come up with it. It's classic stuff. So you look, and now, and I have a couple notes on the third page of this. So we added one to this category this year. Now, 7 of the 16 30 sack seasons in the Big Ten West did not result in 10 or more wins. We added one to that this year with Nebraska, and I guess to Purdue, so maybe it's even the number is even more. And there have now only been 3 teams who have won 10 games but did not reach 30 sacks in Big Ten West history, and that will remain that way for the rest of time.
Sure.
For the rest of time. So usually you get 30 sacks, you win, 30 to 35 sacks, you win 10 games. 40 sacks, you're going to have a chance to win a conference championship. And this year was so ass backwards for Iowa that they stabilized. Nebraska obviously turned the ball over way too much for any of this stuff to matter, right? That's the takeaway from today's spreadsheet. Nebraska, like it'll be the takeaway of the entire offseason. It'll be the conversation all offseason. In a lot of these cases, Nebraska just simply turned the ball over too much for any other real stat to matter. Now, here's the positive spin on it looking forward, spin zone. If you correct, and you don't even have to get back to positive. If you do, then there's going to be real change on the horizon for Nebraska. If you are able to get to -5, in that range, turnover margin, Nebraska cuts out 12 more turnovers next year, somewhere in that range. You will see the results come, and then you will see them come fast. That's it, right? There was a lot of other areas where Nebraska was good enough this year. And you guys know from watching the games, there was a lot of areas where they were good enough, but turnovers sank them. I mean, you could just look at that anecdotally from each game. Nebraska lost, 3 games in the back 4 where they threw an interception on their final final offensive play that led to a score. And they lost those games. That could have been 3 wins right there. Who knows if they win those games? But so the takeaway here is Nebraska just simply turned the football over way too much for any of this stuff to actually matter, which I know that's not why we do the spreadsheets, but it tells you an awful lot about where Nebraska's problems lie.
You're going to find something in every spreadsheet, and that was your conclusion after doing the research.
I think so. But you look at it and you say, all right, they did fine in the sacks. And they didn't even Jamari Butler was Nebraska's leading sack getter this year. He had 5.5 sacks. I wasn't sitting around watching, waiting for Jamari Butler to sack the quarterback at all times. They just kind of spread it around. And so I think what Matt Rule said is pretty, holds pretty true. Wherever I've been, we've had a pretty good defense, regardless of who the coordinator is. And if Tony White leaves, they're going to come back next year and they're going to have a pretty good defense again. And that is regardless of who coordinates it, what style of defense you're running, and what kind of players you have. I mean, seriously, I didn't come into this year thinking, oh man, Nebraska's got all these dudes.
Yeah.
Nash Hutmaker came out of nowhere, kind of. Ty Robinson has been an established player, but he jumped this year. Jamari Butler obviously jumped this year. He's Nebraska's leading sack getter. Tommy Hill jumped this year, right? There's guys all across the ball that jumped.
We ate plenty of Big Macs this season.
We did. 30, we didn't have 32 Big Macs, but I think Nebraska had a sack in every game. I don't know that for sure, but sure. I would imagine they had a sack in every game. So that's Sheetsmas Day 2, which is telling in a variety of different ways, but mostly because Nebraska did some good things this year. They did some good things. They came out looking okay statistically. They came out looking better than Matt Rule teams have in year 1 in a lot of different areas, except the one that cratered them, the turnovers. And they couldn't figure out quarterback, obviously, and that has a big it tells you really why. So you want to look ahead to next year. There's a lot of stuff that's in place. You got to figure out quarterback. That might be our takeaway every single day this week, to be honest with you. While we're at it,
which many would say makes this a futile exercise, but not us.
Not us. It's Sheetsmas. It's Sheets Week, Josh.
I'm so excited for another Sheetsmas. It's upon us.
Yeah, we got people have been asking me to do ideas for spreadsheets. Trust me, I'll take all of them. Send them to me if you have them. We get an email from Brian on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Brian.
Does it really count as a rhyme if it's the same word? Of course, spreadsheet rhymes with spreadsheet. I don't know. Ask some of the greatest rappers of all time.
Oh,
They do that sometimes, I'm sure.
I
can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I think they do.
To close the sack loop, very rudimentary research on my part. Michigan and Louisiana Tech, Nebraska did not come up with.
Oh, they didn't have a sack against Michigan?
Yeah.
Interesting. They didn't even play against Michigan. Did that game really even count? Can we just say Nebraska went 5-6 this year?
Mm-hmm.
Michigan was probably using their spy plane and spying on Nebraska. That's of course why
they have
won.
a spy plane. Did everybody know this?
They have a spy plane that they use for the flyover. I also saw this. So speaking of stats, while we're on the category of stats here, I saw this one going around today. So luck, right? This one is not from me because I can't categorize these things. Bill Rajewski from collegefootballdata.com put this one out. The luck stats, the unluckiest and the luckiest teams in college football. Nebraska, as you would expect, finished as the unluckiest team in college football.
I mean, that's a very succinct way to explain this chart to
Yeah.
somebody, but it's not how lucky you were. It's just how short you came of expectation.
These oftentimes, so post-game win probability looks at advanced metrics like success rates, PPA, scoring opportunities, and assesses the probability of each team winning should the game be played again with equivalent stats. In other words, if you take all the plays in a game and shuffle them into random order, how often would each team be expected to win? And, that understates another, a key inside the key. Yes, it's turnovers, but it's turnovers at the worst time. Like I said, Nebraska threw interceptions on the final 3 losses on their final offensive plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not only interceptions, but interceptions at the worst time. But you go further than this, and you realize that Nebraska's been suffering from bad luck for forever and ever. Luck a lot of times comes to how the ball bounces. It comes from fumbles. Fumble luck is the thing that we talk about often in football. Nebraska's just bad at it. It's in the DNA of the program.
Well,
I can't explain it any other way. Yeah, actually, they didn't lose as many as they should have this year because they put the ball on the ground so many damn times.
It's like 52% or something like that.
It's shocking. So Nebraska had the worst luck in the country this year, according to this data from CFB data. They were expected to actually win 8 games this year, and they ended up winning 5, which, I mean, no surprise in where that comes from. I looked into the comments, and someone asked, "Hey, Bill, how often has Nebraska been number 1 unluckiest over the last 5 years?" Bill responded, "They were number 1 and unluckiest in 2018, 2021, and now 2023. So 3 of the past 6 college football seasons, Nebraska has been deemed to have the worst luck out of everyone." Now, I would argue, as John is arguing right now on the Equitable Bank inbox, that Nebraska is not unlucky. They're just not very good, and none of them know how to win. I get that too. There's luck, and then there's also it's baked into the DNA of the program, which is obviously true at this point. This is over multiple coaches. This is over multiple schemes. This is over, coaches come in with different targets that they want to hit. They have things that they want to do, and Matt Rule couldn't get over that hump this year. So a lot of this offseason is figuring out why, what has led to this, and how do we fix it? What do we do? Is it as simple as you get a good quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over as much and he stays healthy the entire season? Maybe. Nebraska hasn't had that in a while. They've depended too much on the quarterback. That's for sure. Does that help with some of it? I'm sure. Is there some of this that it's like, wow, they're minus 17 in the turnover rate? That is so astronomically bad. It must get better for next year. Yes, but I've been thinking that quite a bit over the last several years. They went, as previously stated, minus 3 last year, minus 17 this year. They went minus 11 in 2020, and they only played, 6 games that year. So you have to weigh those things together. You have to weigh them together. This is the program. It is also suffering from some bad luck, but how much of the bad luck is responsible for the failures of the program over the last several years? I would say it's not the overriding sentiment from me.
Now, I see on this list at number 11, San Diego State. Watch out, Tony White. I don't think that's a job you want to take. It's a very unlucky job.
Well, a lot of times,
stay here where it's safe.
Josh, it's funny because this list the takeaway from it is usually, actually, you do want that job and you do want to be there, because what happens the next year is the exact opposite. Usually it evens out. For Nebraska, that has just simply not been the case. It's just not been the case. But most of the other teams, you'll see everybody shuffle in and out, and you'll see Nebraska just stay at the top. Somebody asked me last night on Twitter, is it the footballs? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think so. We're going to check the PSI. Maybe we need to get some $2 air.
Oh, yeah. Are there Adidas schools on here? How many Nike schools are on here?
Yeah, that would be a research project that I'm actually not interested in this time around. A quick phone call before we get to Allan Bell. It's Tony on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Hey, Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I was just calling about the bad luck comment. See, Nebraska, in my opinion, they're cursed because of what they let happen to Michael Rose-Ivy. That young man played 4 years, never got in trouble, never did anything that would cause him to get in trouble. And then they threatened to kill him because he had a simple civil protest. And no one said a word on his behalf. The governor, everyone criticized him for doing that. And to me, that cursed Nebraska. And until they give him a public apology, they're going to suck for the rest of the time. Not to mention, Nebraska's in the Big Ten, so they're playing with third-string players because nobody's going to go to Nebraska over those other 4 big schools, Penn State, Spartans, Wolverines, and Ohio State. But they need to give Michael Rose-Ivy an apology, and maybe their luck will change.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate the call. Now, who owes Michael Rose-Ivy an apology?
Sounded like everybody.
Okay, the entire state.
Michael Rose-Ivy, I'm sorry, even though I was on your side.
I don't know. I don't know who threatened to kill him, but
I'm sure someone did.
I'm sure someone did. Now, the bad news for Tony is that it actually goes much further back than that.
Oh,
the bad luck part of it. I mean, Nebraska has been suffering from the bad. If you want to believe in the bad luck thing, like Nebraska, as Severe pointed out last night, like 2011, 2012, they won 9 games, and they still were like minus 11. So they were minus 11 in 2013. And then my stats don't go back to 2012, but it was, it was in that range as well, minus 10. If we're talking about turnover margin and luck and stuff like that, like they were still winning and having bad luck throughout that period of time.
Yeah, there were quite a few winning teams on this luck.
Because they had erasers. They had Amir Abdullah. They had some dudes who ended up playing in the NFL.
Air Force is on here at 7. They won 8 games. Kansas at 9. They won 8 games this year. Oregon State won 8 games. They're at 16th on this list.
Yeah. So you don't have to be bad to end up on this list. You can have bad luck and still be fine.
The Texas A&M Aggies are 15th on this list.
Yeah, but like if you want to take that jump, if you want to be an Oregon State or whatever, you win 9 games, and you have bad luck, you're looking for that to even out the next year. You're looking for the year where it all comes together, like 2015 Iowa, right? It all comes together. We have this team. They're old. They're seniors, this and that. And also we get the good luck on our side. It leads to an undefeated regular season. That's where that shows up. And Nebraska needs to take baby steps.
Nebraska's do.
And apologize, apparently.
What could it hurt?
You know what? Exactly, Josh. What could it hurt? All right, Allan Bell is next. We'll get off the stats and go on to the NFL. Thank you for indulging me, by the way, in Sheets Week. Why would
we not? I'm sorry.
And I provide this content for free.
Yeah, you're also here's my Google Doc. Look at it. Look at my spreadsheet.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for this.
Yeah.
Just listen to the radio and click on the internet. There's no paywall, baby.
So many people would be charging like, hey, just give me $5. You can see my sheets.
Yeah. I got a vast catalog of them. They will all be unveiled this week of Sheetsmiths. Allan Bell's next on 1620 The Zone. But let's talk about the FanDuel Sportsbook first. What perfect time to talk about the FanDuel Sportsbook. College football season is slowly wilting away, and the NFL has some incredible matchups in the final stretch of the season, and you need to get in on the cause with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. So go pick a money line winner this weekend in the NFL, and bang, it is $150 in bonus bets. And all you have to do is win. Go pick a big favorite. Go pick whoever's playing the Panthers, this weekend. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at the slate. All I know is we got Eagles and 49ers this weekend. Pick a money line favorite and you win. There's also spreads. There's also player props, anytime touchdown scores, same game parlays. They got it all on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel.com/Happer. Kick off the NFL season with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Hi everybody, Kent Pavelka here with why I chose Everlevel Concrete Repair for my driveway. They do it all. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, protect the finished product from deterioration, and all at a fraction of the price of replacement. It's not a Band-Aid like other repair methods. Everlevel's products are designed to last, which is why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Better yet, it all comes with a transferable warranty. Protect your concrete before winter. Call Everlevel today for your free inspection. Everlevel, they make your driveway Everlevel. Level up.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Santa says early bird gift cards are perfect for holiday gift giving. Get to Early Bird Brunch in the Blackstone District, Shadow Lake Town Center, or Regency Landing to buy your gift cards. Get $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Early Bird, not your everyday brunch every day. Early Bird offers a variety of pancakes, benedicts, omelets, and a full breakfast cocktail menu. For more menu info, check out earlybirdbrunch.com. Early Bird Brunch, where the early bird gets the pancake and the holiday gift card.
Remember the simple days of the home phone? You never misplaced that phone or lost a call because of spotty internet or bad reception. It was right there and always reliable, even in emergencies. Well, the home phone is back and better than ever with Community Phone. Community Phone offers landline home phone service starting at just $39 a month. And now get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. There are no contracts. You don't need internet. You can make unlimited nationwide calls, and your phone works, even if you lose power. Plus, you can keep your current phone number or get a new one. With Community Phone, you'll enjoy all the modern conveniences of caller ID, voicemail, spam call blocking, and more. Today, get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. Call 1-866-936-4134 today to get 50% off. 1-866-936-4134.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell. Sportsline. On the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we're joined on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline by Allan Bell of Sportsline. Hello, Allan. How are you?
Hello, sir. How we doing?
Good. Did you enjoy the fun football bonanza last night?
Yeah, that was thrilling football. I tell you what, I DVR'd it, and I'm going to show my neighbors who, might not have been watching the game. I want to make sure that everybody saw that. That's a real key highlight for the NFL.
I wanted them to lateral it like 60 more times at the end of the game.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, okay, so here's the question. One of my bets on the game last night was the Bears to lose a fumble, which they did, and the Vikings to lose a fumble. How was that not?
Wait, so you didn't get paid out for that?
No. And they declined the penalty.
So they called the penalty and they declined it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Look, man, I was emailing the league last night. Nobody.
I was wondering that because I mean, it was definitely a fumble. There's no way it's not a fumble. They got to go back and take a look at that. You need your cash.
Yeah, absolutely. It's plus 130. And, I ended the email with this. It had to be something. We don't just get into play in the game. Oh, well, that's it. Nope, no play, nothing. Yeah, because
the Bears guy was on top of it at the end. That was it. It was a fumble. It was a turnover.
Yep, 100%.
It doesn't count in team stats.
We need to be focusing on.
Oh my goodness, that is a tough gambling loss when it actually happened and you didn't get paid out for it, man.
Yeah,
jeez. But it was a classic game last night with no touchdowns until the very end. We got Josh Dobbs, who may not be like the franchise savior after all, it seems. And the Bears, wrecking their own chances to get good draft picks. It's great.
And here was my thing. All right, okay, you look at the Bears. Yes, I understand that. They haven't won a lot of games, but you look back this year when Fields has been playing. They scored points, right? Entering the game last night, he was fourth in the NFL at 20+ yard touchdown pass, and he's missed games, right? I don't understand being 3-8 or whatever they, and you're conservative. What?
Super weird.
What are you doing? The head coach is going to be gone. Justin Fields, they don't know what to do, in regards to the quarterback position with all those draft picks. It was just, they kept showing Eberflus, and it was just I slowly started hating this individual, more and more. I was like, just throw it.
So then
we throw in every pass at the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings' response at the end of the game on the last drive that ended up kicking the field goal was to go even softer. They fought conservative with conservative and just decided to not cover DJ Moore while he streaked down the field.
Dude, it was I obviously me being here in Nashville, it was like watching your local Southern Baptist church have a flag football game. Nope. We're gonna be conservative here. We're not throwing it. We're gonna run it was just the wing tee last night. I just didn't get it at all.
Classic. Those are two bad teams, and some people, some sickos enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was something.
Would you want to be the coach of the Carolina Panthers?
Apparently, well, let me say, Frank Reich's leaving with some money, so that's nice.
That's good.
Here's the thing that we were all laughing about here in Nashville. Apparently now, if you lose to the Titans, you're fired. That's how bad the Titans are. So, yeah, there you go. Which is strange. The Titans have won every game at home and lost every game on the road this year.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, I guess they're the kiss of death for everybody.
Pretty much. Tennessee football is back to normal. There we go.
The Panthers owner now, David Tepper, he's been through 4 coaches. He'll hire his 4th coach in the last year and a half. Been through 7 coaches since he's been there in 2018. And they have a situation with a quarterback that just, I don't know if you're stuck with, but they want to make it work. So it's a really odd situation for sort of a seemingly toxic environment to kind of be in.
Yeah, I don't know the guy. You know what I mean? So it's he could be, super nice. He's just a billionaire and he's used to, having things done quickly, right? I'm fascinated to see what he does now because now we're getting to the point where he's going to start hiring people that aren't coaches. He's going to hire the COO of Microsoft, to come in and just do just try anything. You know what I mean? So I'm fascinated to see because you're just running out of options here now. I say this like it's easy. It's not. But what the hell do you expect Bryce Young to do? Yeah. He has no O-line. He has no weapon. Like, it's tough, man. Like, you're just going to have to build this thing out. But I am definitely here for all, like, off-the-wall types of hires. Because I say it joking, but I'm kind of not.
Yeah,
like,
it's time to bring in some tech guys.
Yeah, literally. Like, I really think that he's down for anybody that will walk in and say, I can fix this problem. I don't care what it is. Football, an app, energy drink business. Like, I can fix this. I think that he'll listen.
He said this morning that he wanted to hire a coach that was going to be here for like 40 years and then give his eulogy at his funeral.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Frank Reich lasted about 40 minutes. So, I mean...
I think set your expectations a little lower, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who this 40-year guy is, but, man, I'm excited to find out.
The Eagles are, true or false, the Eagles are inevitable. That doesn't mean that they're going to win the Super Bowl necessarily, because anything could happen. But they just always, it always comes down to the end, and they always win.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the Chiefs thing, right? Like, I mean, that's what it reminds me of, man. Like, watching that game, against the Chiefs, and then watching, obviously, yesterday, man, like that, or Sunday, like that. This team just finds a way. Give them credit for it. Like, Buffalo needed to win that game, and the fact that Philly, had every reason to kind of just whatever, lose, we'll move on. No, they didn't. They just keep finding a way. Home field advantage is going to be massive in the playoffs this year. If they can fend off Dallas, yeah, like it's just going to be so hard to beat Philly because they're just so dynamic, man. Like when Jalen Hurts is healthy and good, like him, Mahomes, I mean, there's just such a different level of those guys to everyone else in the NFL. Just they can do it all, man.
So I know we talked about the Broncos last week, and I believe you said you're you're on the train at the moment. Yep. They've won 5 in a row. They go over the next 3. They go at Houston, at Chargers, at Detroit. So 3 weeks in a row on the road for Denver. Do you think that they can keep this going into like a softer, final 3?
Yeah, like I think that they can win 2 out of those 3, right? And whenever we look at it, like we'll always think, okay, the Lions, like that's the tough one. Let's watch. They'll blow the Lions out and then lose to the Texans. You know what I mean? Like it's always something random. But I like this Denver team, man. Like I know that I'm not saying that they're the Eagles or the Chiefs. I'm not saying that at all. But like they're better. They're playing better than clearly what we saw last year. Sean Payton, knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? So they're fun, man. Like they don't get enough love, for what they're doing because quite frankly, like you just talked about it, like Eagles, Chiefs, 49ers. Other than that, like there's a ton of parents in the NFL. They're kind of making a little noise, man. It's fun.
Yeah, it comes up every single week. Like we have this top tier, and then the rest of it you kind of just throw in a pot and you mix it around a little bit, and I don't know what's going to come out of it. And right now, the Broncos are making their case. Okay, so speaking of the Eagles and the 49ers, they play each other this week. Can you explain the Eagles getting 3 points at home against the 49ers? Because I'm not sure I understand it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and it's like you get it from just hearing the 49ers, right? Like I get that for like a second, but what are you gonna do? Like the Eagles play defense too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like Brock Purdy's gonna have to bring something to the table here, and I know Chris McCaffrey's the truth, and look, I'm not denigrating the 49ers at all, but I'm with you on that. Like I apparently odds makers see something. That they would do that, but dude, I mean that's a long trip. That's
it keeps going up too. Like I saw it start at 1.5 and then 2.5, and now I'm seeing it at 3. And I think what's going on? It's going the wrong way that I figured it would go, and it just feels like a huge trap to me, and I'm not sure what to do.
No, you nailed it right there. And the weird thing about it too is that the Eagles do 2 things great on defense, man. Like they can rush the passer, and they can they have a better run defense than the 49ers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they only give up like 68 yards per game rushing. Like it is very difficult to run the football on them, man. So I'm with you, dude. Like it feels like a trap, but a lot of times dude, trust your gut on it. Like it doesn't feel right at all.
That's kind of way I'm leaning as well. Tell me in great detail about your Thanksgiving meal.
It was solid, man. We had the normal, turkey, all that kind of stuff. I'll say this: deviled eggs. I'm huge on. Love deviled eggs. Yeah, cranberry sauce. We talked about that. I love it. I know most people don't. We also had somebody show up with a gumbo. All right, and we talked about it like when people bring like the completely random food. Like, yeah, it was pretty good. Like, it was actually kind of terrible. They really weren't good at making it, but it was so different.
It was enough of a curveball that you're like, you know what? Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it kind of. We were talking about like, does your food touch on the plate? And it kind of like was the perfect middle to make that KFC sadness bowl. Like, you could just put it right there in the middle.
You got to put the gumbo in like a separate bowl. That's like a soup.
Well, that's what most normal human beings do. Like I said, it was a little dry. Like, it wasn't a liquid. Like, it was basically like stuffing with some sausage worked in there, right? But it wasn't bad, man. What about you?
I'll tell you what.
That we didn't know?
Nothing off the wall. I made sure I occupied all the spaces on there, and
What's your drink?
It was a good clean plate
while you're eating.
I went water. I went water, and that's in the absence of like. I didn't want to drink an alcoholic beverage with that meal.
Same.
That was for later.
Yeah, see, I'm the exact same way. Like, Sprite is my go-to. Like, I'll have a Sprite and a water because you need the water for sure. But Sprite, man, like I think I'm addicted to it. Like, I think that I am absolutely.
Nice. By the way, you mentioned gumbo and gumbo Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking, I don't know if anybody's thought of this before. Maybe I created something, maybe I didn't. Have you ever thought about gumbo like on a bed of mashed potatoes?
Ooh,
would that be anything?
That would be solid, dude. I would eat that. I would eat that today. Like, if it was leftovers in the fridge, I would crush on that today. That's a hearty Midwestern type meal with a little Louisiana flavor to it.
Yeah, you can get a little. Change it up with that a little bit. I don't know. Just a thought. Just wanted to put that out there for you.
That's the beauty of gumbo. It can be whatever the hell you want it to be.
It can be whatever you want it to be. Allan, thanks. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, my friend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Buddy, look forward to it, man. Hope to save you.
Allan Bell of Sportsline.
Got some good recipes in there.
What do you think, Josh?
I mean, it's not for me, but
have you ever thought about it? Have you thought about it before? Did I just create something, or did I just say something that everybody already knew about?
I imagine it already exists.
Okay,
but
so I'm just thinking mashed potatoes is kind of like a substitute for like a rice.
I'm looking at a lot of turkey gumbo on top of mashed potatoes recipes here.
Okay. Yeah, like I always like the school lunch, the cream turkey. They did a little scoop of mashed potatoes and then they put the cream turkey. No, that's a good one.
Terrible.
That was a good lunch.
Food's touching, disgusting.
It's not. It's all one food. It's all one. Just change your mind on it, Josh. It's all one food.
Just change your mind on it.
Yeah, you got to put yourself in a different state of mind. It's mashed potatoes and the gumbo, mashed potatoes and the cream turkey. It's all together.
I want everyone to love this dish. Call it the Happer. Order it at your local establishment, wherever you like to go. Make them make it for you. I will not be partaking.
Okay.
You gave me a pot of gumbo. You gave me some potatoes on the side. I'm in.
Jamie writes in, poll question, how long do you eat Thanksgiving leftovers for? Probably not a poll question, but I'm still working on it. I get an extra, I gotta make some more mashed potatoes, which I have no problem with. But I get a couple slices of turkey left for sure.
Yeah, we're
still
out.
cooking. Still cooking. Andy has a poll question. Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about it? Just do it. Have you ever thought about gumbo on a bed of mashed potatoes?
It sounds like I could get that in a dive spot, but also like a Michelin star restaurant would serve.
Right. Yeah, they can make it super, gourmet for you.
Look how blue
as
collar
well.
we are with this gumbo on top of mashed potatoes.
Brian is indulging me on the Equitable Bank inbox. Gumbo is traditionally served over rice, so mashed potatoes isn't that weird, I guess. Just swish it around a little bit, spit it out, see how it tastes. We'll be back with more. Josh has the odd news. Less takes on mashed potatoes and gumbo next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The job of a good sideline reporter, in my opinion, is to relay information about injuries or maybe some sideline stuff that is happening with the team. Okay, let's go down to Melissa Stark. Melissa, what are you seeing down there? She'll tell a story about, these guys were getting into it. It's like, okay, that's interesting. It's just a little extra background, a little extra color.
It's having some eyes down on the field.
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Cold start Tuesday morning, temperatures in the teens with wind chills in the single digits. Expect partly sunny skies the first half of the day with sunshine in the afternoon. A little breezy at times with south and southwest winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. Highs in the mid-40s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Since 1972, family-owned and locally roasted Host Coffee Service has been roasting the finest coffee for businesses and restaurants. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Suicide can be prevented by knowing the warning signs, and most importantly, knowing what to do if you recognize those signs in yourself, a loved one, or even a stranger. There are simple ways you can be there for someone, so they can be here for more tomorrows. Visit moretomorrowsne.org to learn the signs, how to approach the conversation, and where to get help. Or call 988 for help now. That's moretomorrowsne.org.
Creighton Sports Update.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, it's basketball season here at Creighton, so get your tickets and come out and support your Blue Jays. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com, gocreighton.com/tickets, or visit the ticket office located at Ryan Athletic Center. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Looking for a pure electric vehicle that does 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds? The eyes have it. The BMW i-Line. 100% electric, 100% sports car, 110% BMW. The BMW i-Line. The electric vehicle that takes you farther than you could ever imagine. Right now, lease a new BMW i4 eDrive 35 for $499 a month at BMW of Omaha. Online at bmwofomaha.com. See dealer for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Zivit for Ted and Wally's. One of the things that Ted and Wally's does is go along with the seasons, whether it's the summer or it's the spring or it's the fall, and of course, the winter and holidays, and the holiday flavors are amazing. Let me suggest a couple of them for you. Coffee beignet and ooey gooey cake. You are going to love both of them, and so will your family and friends. Swing by the 2 locations, whether it's Benson, next to Taste of New Orleans, or in the Old Market, and get the holiday flavors today. Grab a gift card while you're there as well, and always tell them Severe sent you.
One of the most exciting days of the year is the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is a global day of generosity. Locally, we call it Giving Tuesday 402 in the Omaha Metro and Giving Tuesday 712 in Western Iowa. Here's Katie Forney of Share Omaha to tell you all about it.
Giving Tuesday is the biggest local giving day of the year in our region. It's a day for everyone to give in the ways that matter to them. You work it by going to shareomaha.org and finding those causes that touch your heart. When you give a gift of $100 to the Youth Emergency Services, you can feed 10 hungry teens at that street outreach center. And I love this. A wildlife rescue rehab donation of $50 can help an entire litter of rabbits and squirrels be rehabilitated and returned to the wild. Please go to shareomaha.org and find those causes that matter to you. In fact, you can give early. Giving is now open.
Plan now for how you can support local nonprofits that matter to you. Click shareomaha.org. And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Hey, by the way, we were wondering out loud earlier with the turnovers and the luck and all that stuff. Joel did the research for us. So the bottom 10 in fumbles lost in the FBS. There are 5 Nike schools, 4 Adidas schools, and 1 Under Armour school. So no evidence,
service, Joel.
no evidence suggesting that Adidas footballs are the reason why Nebraska stinks at turning the football over.
I think that's a fine theory.
No, it's a fine theory, but the research has been done, and it's not. It does not bear any fruit.
That's why you do the research.
That's why you do the research. Exactly. You have a hypothesis, and you try and prove it right or wrong. All right, Josh, odd news.
A story from the weekend that I just don't think we've talked about enough is the near death of Oklahoma football coach Brent Venables.
He almost died?
He almost died.
How?
On Friday night, Oklahoma trampled all over TCU 69-45.
Friday day.
Yeah.
During Nebraska, Iowa.
But before the Sooners could trample the Horned Frogs, they unfortunately trampled their head coach. As Oklahoma took the field before the game, they were welcomed with a smoke machine that was running pretty heavily.
Classic.
And as the Sooners made their way out, someone tripped, causing a chain reaction. Coming out of the smoke, you can see Sooner after Sooner stumble before eventually getting their feet back under them. Coach Venables was the Venables.
I like that Venables though. It's like
Venables.
combined in both of his names.
He was apparently one of the first people to get caught up in the fracas and address the pile up after the game. He told TJ Eckert of KTUL, "That was embarrassing. I just fell. I didn't think I was going to die, but that did cross my mind. I kept getting shoved and shoved, 5,000 pounds on top of me."
Yeah, that is scary. I mean, did he go to the ground?
Yes. He went to the ground and became a tripping hazard for the other players as they were running onto the ground.
Okay, that's where you can really get beat up.
Yeah.
Because if you're just in there and you're kind of getting pushed around and you're still upright, it's fine. But like you could really get in trouble getting stepped on. You want to step on the wrong place with 300-pound guy. Oops, stepped on your neck. Like that's a dangerous situation.
I am going to retweet the video.
Oh, retweet.
There it is at Happer Show if you want to see what happened.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and watch it right now.
Yeah.
Here comes the schooner, and there is a lot of smoke, and there he goes. Yeah, there's no, I mean, he was right at the front of the line, too, so
He's leading the charge.
All 100-plus guys came in after him. Yeah, you got to find a way.
I also love that everybody looked back and nobody went, "Oh, that's our head coach. Let's go pick him up."
Yeah, everybody just continues to trip over him as they come out of the locker room. Holy crap. Yeah, I think they got him up. Jeez. Well, glad he's okay.
Only laughing about it because he's alive.
He's alive. And he's Brennables.
We go to Omaha for our next story.
Oh. $2 air?
$2 air. Funny bit, huh? No, a Nebraska woman bagged a marriage proposal earlier this month along with a big buck during a recent deer hunting trip. Now, I'm going to butcher this name, and it's unfortunate because I'm sure someone listening knows this family. So I apologize on the front end. Samantha Kamenzind and her boyfriend not only gave her the first shot at the deer they had spotted on a trail camera south of Lincoln, but then surprised her by popping the question in the middle of a photo shoot with the prize trophy, a giant buck with 11 tines on one side of its antlers and 9 on the other.
Damn.
Why are they uneven? I don't know. I also don't need to know.
Deer are idiots. Deer don't make any sense.
Everybody's been saying they would marry him too if he let them shoot this big of a deer. Samantha, 28 years young, who lives in Omaha, told the Omaha World Herald. In 3 years of dating, one of the things the couple bonded over is their shared love of hunting. They process and eat the meat of what they kill, which is
normal.
Kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
Cole Burris, again, might be butchering it. I don't know. I apologize. Said he didn't have any problem letting his girlfriend, now fiance, take the first shot at the buck. I was just as excited as she was when she got it. The 32-year-old from, and again, butchering it, I don't know, Philly, Nebraska? Filley?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's a place. Then Cole told Samantha that he wanted a professional photographer to take some pictures to commemorate the big moment. Partway through the pictures, he got down on one knee and asked her to marry him.
Did the deer have its tongue out like it always does?
I think so. Yeah.
And then they point the deer at the camera. It's just hanging out there.
Samantha said, "I don't know if people were more shocked that we got engaged or by the size of the deer." The two are, and here's the capper on the story. The two are aiming at a possible wedding date next fall, but she said it definitely won't be during hunting season.
Damn right. Philly, Nebraska is east of Beatrice on Highway 136, in case anybody's interested. That is an area less explored by me.
Wow. Those are rare.
I thought the story was going to end up where the guy like fed the deer the ring or something like that, and then they shot it, and then they were
and it blew.
They were gutting the sucker, and then they found the ring. Oh my God, honey, is this for me? Yes,
that would have been a better idea.
It would have been, but
no, just hey, let's get our kill professionally photographed.
The idiot deer would definitely eat the ring. The deer don't know what it's doing. Has no idea. Oh, let's walk across the road. I'm a deer.
I'm a deer. One final story.
Mm-hmm.
And we
I have some news for you, by the way, on the back end of this.
Some news?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share it now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can wait. We'll leave people on the edge a little bit.
Oh, interesting. We end in the NFL where on, I guess it would be Friday, Al Michaels told a delightful story about how Mike McDaniel met his wife, his now wife. Also, by the way, Friday's game marked a closing of the loop for Al Michaels. He has now called an NFL game on each of the 7 days of the week.
Nice. Congrats, Al.
Side note. But Al Michaels tells the story about when Mike McDaniel was a running backs coach for the United Football League's Sacramento team.
Interesting.
They were out on the dance floor. They had just blown out the Omaha Nighthawks. Sad. And he said to one of his running backs, as they were both eyeing the same girl, if you go dance with her, you will not be on this team next year. Now, Mike McDaniel laughed that off in a press conference after the game, saying, I was the running backs coach. I have no real power. But nevertheless, he conceded. He let the coach dance with the girl. And the rest was history, as they say. Is
married and children.
Married with child, I believe. Yes. But I want to spin that forward and look at the roster of running backs for the then Sacramento River Cats, I believe.
That's like their AAA baseball team.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
What's going on in this room? So let's figure out who this might have been.
There were 3 running backs in that room. 1, a nobody from Massachusetts. Number 2, former Husker Corey Ross.
Uh-huh.
And number 3, actor and Nepo baby, but a really good actor. John David Washington, son of the greatest actor in human history.
Wow.
Denzel Washington.
So, okay. And just for your information, we have done some priors on this. We've done some research on this. So the game took place in Sacramento.
That is correct.
And they went to a Sacramento nightclub when they beat the Nighthawks. So there wasn't
presumably.
this did not happen in an Omaha nightclub.
It did happen after a game against the Omaha Nighthawks, though.
Yes, the Nighthawks were visiting Sacramento. So it could have theoretically been any of those three running backs. But I like to believe that it was Corey Ross.
I very much want to believe that it was Corey Ross, although I understand why many would want it to be Denzel Washington's son. I just don't think you're winning that battle.
We could all agree that we don't want it to be the UMass guy.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Good. What a story. And now if you try to figure out more information about Mike McDaniel's wife, Katie, and you Google her name, you will only find aggregated stories on the internet about what Al Michaels said from information that Al Michaels explained on the broadcast on Friday.
It's a lot of power that Al Michaels yields.
Yep.
Use it responsibly, Al.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the odd news. Here is the real news coming out of downtown Omaha.
Oh?
Creighton basketball will retire Doug McDermott's jersey on December the 20th.
Oh, wow.
Prior to their home game against Villanova.
Of course.
Should be a sold-out crowd. Doug has every single record that there has ever been at Creighton. His father, Greg, who is the head coach at Creighton, has a quote. "We are thrilled to be able to retire Doug's jersey. His impact on our basketball program was immense." No kidding. He and his teammates helped usher in a new era of Creighton basketball as we entered the Big East. As his father and coach, I look forward to celebrating him with 18,000 Blue Jay faithful on December the 20th. So the Spurs must be off, and they're like, come on back, baby.
The 19th, they're in Milwaukee. The 21st, they're in Chicago.
So I wonder if Dougie will like to make an appearance on Jay's Live. I'll put in the request.
Oh, wow. Are you going to ask him about
ask him about his hair? Man, why
they've lost 12 in a row?
How'd your hair get so much better? Well, it's called having money.
It's called money.
That's actually crazy. I think you're probably right, because my hair got worse and I don't have any money. Congrats to Doug. And I don't know about overdue. It's been 10 years, but
he's still in the league, though.
Yeah, right. He's still in the league. Nobody's ever going to wear number 3 again in Creighton basketball history. The greatest player in Creighton basketball history will have his number retired later in December. Back with more next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
Hey, Brianna, look at you, graduating already.
Yeah, knocked out my gen eds in 2 years at MCC.
And now you're off to
finish my 4-year degree at the university.
That was fast. I'll bet your mom
loves that. We saved thousands in tuition.
Now that's smart.
That's Metropolitan Community College.
Knock out your gen eds in 2 years before transferring to a 4-year university. Get started at mccneb.edu/me. Classes start December 2nd.
This is me at MCC.
Hey folks, Kent Pavelka again to tell you about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked, uneven concrete, Everlevel can fix it at a fraction of the cost compared to replacement. This is no Band-Aid. Their products are built to last. It gives your concrete the durable protection it needs, and there's still time. I chose Everlevel for my driveway, and I've got peace of mind with their long-term transferable warranty. Everlevel's products and customer service are top-notch, and that's why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Say it with me. Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you can sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the holidays merrier. by making holiday hosting easier with our lowest prices of the year on Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Get everything you need to store all your holiday favorites.
Dinner's ready.
And the leftovers. With top brand kitchen appliances at a great value. Final days to save up to $2,300 on select kitchen packages, including top brands like Whirlpool with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
Hey there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Outdoor Nebraska update. It's hunting time in the Husker State. For a safe season, remember to be totally certain of your target and your background before you fire that shot. In a moment, ask yourself, is the bullet flight path clear? Is that a legitimate target? And what am I going to hit if I miss my shot? Please be careful out there. If you'd like more information on hunting safety, go to outdoornebraska.gov. That's outdoornebraska.gov. From wildfowl to owls. Great time of year to step outside and watch wildlife. Many animals are still active, plus the leaves have mostly fallen, vegetation is set back, and we'll have some warmer weather. Maybe you'll hike a state park trail or head to a public reservoir to do that. Oh, and don't forget your camera. Oh, it's on your phone. That's right. I'm Greg Wagner.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Otson with you on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Quickly, a reminder, we will be outside in our parking lot on Friday afternoon. Are you ready, Josh?
Yes.
It won't be. I don't think it'll be that cold. It'll be nice. And we're inviting you all to drop by for our annual Stuff the Truck benefit with us here at 1620 The Zone, Molina Healthcare, J-Tech Construction. We'll be stuffing the truck Friday and Saturday. Friday from 3 to 7 and Saturday from 11 to 4 right here in our parking lot. 50th and Dodge, 5011 Capital. Help those in need this holiday season by donating a new unwrapped toy for Toys for Tots. And we're putting this on with Molina Healthcare, J-Tech Construction and Solar, and 2 men in a truck. If you need more details than that, but that's all of them, you can visit our website, 1620thezone.com. A couple news items here. All Big Ten defensive selections are being announced as we speak. Ooh. Does Nebraska have any first teamers, Josh? Drum roll?
I'm going to go no.
Nailed it. Correct.
Probably a Michigan guy in there.
3.
Oh. How many are there?
On the first team.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Oh, it's probably
3, 4,
11 or 12.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's more than a football team has.
14. Josh stays triggered about this. 14 people on the first team. 3 of them are Michigan men. 2 of them are Iowegians. 2 of them are Ohio Staters. 3 of them are Penn State people. And 1 is from Indiana and 1 is from Illinois. Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten goes to Johnny Newton, Jerzon Newton from Illinois, who friend of the show. We'll call him friend of the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Big Ten Media Days guy. And yeah, no surprise to see no Cornhuskers on the list. We'll wait till the second team comes out. Maybe they're announcing it right now on the Big Ten Network, and I just haven't seen it yet. But there you go. Other Big Ten things. Transfer portal. I feel like every quarterback in the Big Ten entered the transfer portal. Michigan State's quarterbacks entered the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. Indiana quarterback entered the transfer portal. Next up, Minnesota's quarterback into the transfer portal.
Greek freak.
Ethan Kaliakmanis entering the transfer portal. He was not Tanner Morgan, and he threw 17 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in his 2 seasons with Minnesota. He enters the portal, and Minnesota will go and find somebody else, I'm sure. I wonder how, like, especially if you're like Minnesota or Nebraska, you're trending toward like a 5-7 season. You understand that you have problems at quarterback. Cal McManus was not good this year. Hell, he almost got outplayed by Jeff Sims in the first game of the year.
Of all people.
Of all, now I say almost. But I wonder how long it is before the end of the season where you're thinking, all right, time to start really thinking about this. Like you're watching other college football games on Saturday night after you get done, and you're like, all right, let's flip on the tube and see who our next quarterback is next year. I imagine that that's a real thing. This is how it works. Unless you have like a really, really good quarterback or a local guy, like there's a couple extenuating circumstances, but everybody's going into the portal. And they have this cool thing where you can go into the portal, and if you don't like your options, you can just come out of the portal. You can go back to the school that you were at in the first place, unless you're getting kicked out. By the way, I think in Cal McManus' case, he was. Yeah, that's okay. You go in the portal and stay there.
Stop.
You
don't come back.
Yeah, you go in the portal, and once you go through that door it closes. Which I think.
PJ.
Yeah.
Seems like the locks are changed. I can't get back in.
Yeah. No, that's actually correct. Goodbye, Ethan. So I think that was the case in his case. But like, just tailor it to the Nebraska conversation real quick. You think they have a list of guys who they want to enter the portal? Or maybe anticipate entering the portal?
I imagine Rule and Sat have gotten together and have a kind of like that
like Christmas wish list?
That list that's always in Trev Albert's top drawer.
Oh yeah. I always keep No, that's Bill's. That's Moose.
Oh yeah.
Bill Moose. That's in his top drawer.
I feel like Rule and Sat probably have like, okay, here's some probables, here's some targets. Let's see what happens come portal time.
I would imagine so, Josh.
They seem very prepared for a lot of things, except the clock.
Yeah, I think we'll except the clock. Sorry, I almost skipped over that. Thank you. Good joke. That was good. Tomorrow we will find out a little bit more on maybe not stuff that we already didn't know, but just the thoughts on Chubba going forward. Right. And the thoughts on the entire room going forward. I imagine the bulk of the conversation tomorrow will be completely overtaken by, all right, what are you going to do at quarterback? What are you going to do with the offense in general? By the way, I will tell you that there are other things that Nebraska needs to go get in the portal. I would vote. If you're asking me, all right, Happer, you get one vote, and it can't be a quarterback. And you get to pick a position that Nebraska goes to get in the transfer portal that is an automatic difference maker. You know what my vote goes to?
I have a hunch, but I'll let you say it.
Running back.
Yeah.
Give me the big backs. Give me the big horse. Give the big horse the ball. It's running back for sure. Now, Ramir Johnson's probably back next year. Gabe Irvin's probably back next year. I think he's been injured his entire career. I think he's back. And you obviously have Emmett Johnson back, but like, give me a difference maker at running back. I actually think they did fine at wide receiver. They developed those guys. There's still a couple more that I think they have coming up that we didn't see this year. Like, I think they're okay there. I wouldn't mind, taking a guy like Billy Kemp out of the portal. But if I get one place to put my chips and it's not quarterback, because that one's so obvious, running back.
I'm not getting you Billy Kemp. We got Billy Kemp at home.
Get the other Billy Kemp. Get next year's version of Billy Kemp. And maybe next year's version of Billy Kemp can have a little bit more success than this year's version of Billy Kemp because you get the quarterback that actually works. So, 8th in Cal McManus into the portal. He's the new one. Interest level, 1 through 10, Josh.
This is 0?
0. I was going to give him a 2.
Okay.
I mean, I'd pass, but
it's going to be a no from me, dog.
Like, if you get down to it, if you get down to the nitty-gritty, would you be like, Ethan, no thank you, the door's locked?
If it's closing time and you need to go home with a date?
Mm-hmm. That's why he gets it, too. Well, what about Will Howard, 1 through 10?
The K-State guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's certainly higher.
Yeah, like 8.
I would like a meeting to be had.
So, like,
for sure.
if we do your disgusting misogynistic bar analogy,
girls can stay in the bar at the end of the night too.
Then he's a good option. He's a really good option.
Oh yeah,
he's a really good option.
You would Snapchat your friends on the way home, like, "Hey, look what I got."
Poll question: would you Snapchat your friends about Will Howard or something of that nature? Yeah, I think I think I would, for sure. Let's take a look at the college football playoff.
Okay.
The rankings come out tonight. We can make some predictions. There's only a couple doomsday scenarios. We'll give them to you. But as predicted, Josh, we have kind of sorted things out.
After we panicked last week.
Yeah, it was a late panic. We'll do that. We have NFL reaction, overreaction coming up as well. Plenty more to come on the Cotter Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
Experience Omaha's first Indian restaurant and brewery. Jaipur has created delicious Indian food and brews, from the tandoori salmon to the chicken tikka makhani. Jaipur has something for every palate. 2 locations, Rockbrook and Dundee. Come see why Jaipur has been voted first place best of Omaha 18 years in a row.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the holidays merrier by making holiday hosting easier with our lowest prices of the year on Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Get everything you need to store all your holiday favorites,
Dinner's ready,
and the leftovers with top brand kitchen appliances at a great value. Final days to save up to $2,300 on select kitchen packages, including top brands like Whirlpool, with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. Think about it. Do the math. That's $150 if your team wins.
Yeah, and if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action right now. The app is super easy to use. Wide range of betting options, including not only spreads, but also player props, over-unders, and much more. And a great NFL slate this week to take advantage of, including Niners and Eagles. So visit FanDuel.com. Use the promo code ZONE. That's FanDuel.com/zone and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable. Bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at Sportsbook. sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
The Woodcliff Restaurant in Fremont is just a quick sleigh ride from Omaha at Woodcliff Lake. Get a head start on all your stocking stuffers with gift cards from the Woodcliff Restaurant. Winters at the Woodcliff Restaurant are warm and inviting, like a Santa's workshop, but more fun. Stop fighting traffic, parking, and one-way streets. Slow down and enjoy a fantastic dinner at the lake with family and friends this holiday season. The Woodcliff Restaurant is Santa approved. Check them out at thewoodcliffrestaurant.com or on Facebook for specials and events.
All right, college football playoff rankings tonight. I think we know how they're going to go.
Do the right thing, committee.
I think we know how they're going to go. And what you will learn tonight is that the number one team in the country, well, I guess you already knew it. The number one team in the country will be Georgia. The number two team in the country will be Michigan. The number three team in the country will probably be Washington, and then you go Florida State after that. Where does Ohio State slot in? Do they go behind or in front of Oregon? And then there's Texas, of course, who's back there, and then there's Alabama, who's back there as well. Those are all your playoff eligible, I guess, teams at this point. But we know that this is not the important week. Next is the important week, and this week of football is really significant. So here's some scenarios I want to throw at you.
Please.
So if our winners of the weekend...
Whoa, trademark term, but okay.
Apologies. Yes, trademark by Josh. If our winners of the weekend are what I would consider a likely result, a reasonable result. Chalky, even, if you will. If we end up with Georgia winning the SEC title.
Okay.
Florida State winning the ACC title over Louisville. Michigan wrecking Iowa. And Iowa scoring 0 points. Texas winning the Big 12 title. And Oregon. Isn't that the likely result? I don't even know what the line is on that this weekend.
Good question. What is the line on that? But lately, Oregon does look better than Washington.
Oregon's a 9.5-point favorite, Josh.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't know that they're that much better, but I do think they are better than Washington.
If that is the result, it's pretty cut and dry, right? Michigan is undefeated SEC champ. They're in. Georgia's undefeated SEC champ. They're in. Michigan's undefeated Big Ten champ. They're in. Florida's an undefeated ACC champ. They're in. Like, sorry. I'm sorry.
I get it.
I'm sorry,
I get it.
but it's pretty much non-negotiable. And Oregon is your fourth team.
Can we at least put Florida State at 4? And have Oregon jump?
Ooh. You can game the system a little bit there.
Well,
I think I would want to see Oregon, Georgia first.
Oregon would have a win over the 4th ranked team in the playoff or whatever, however it shakes out.
Maybe. But I'd still say unlikely with an undefeated power conference champ.
Fine.
So here's a couple other scenarios. I think that's the most likely scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw out Michigan losing to Iowa. It ain't going to happen.
Seems unlikely. Yes.
It is not happening. If Florida State loses, which is, I don't know about likely, but certainly in the cards, who does it clear the path for if everything else stays the same? Probably Texas.
Yeah, if everything else stays the same, Texas would be the team.
The doomsday
fairly cut and dry also.
The explosive scenario for everything here is what happens in the SEC title game.
What if?
Oh, Josh, I mean, people are already talking about this for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Oh, yeah. What's the line? Just out of curiosity.
Let me find that for you.
Thought you were still up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I kind of moved off of it.
Sure.
Georgia is a 6.5-point favorite
Okay.
against the Alabama Crimson Tide this
That makes
weekend,
sense.
who nearly lost to Auburn. And we wouldn't be having this conversation really at all because Georgia would have clinched their spot in the playoff already. Now they're probably still in, no matter what happens. But if Alabama gets a little tricky and beats Georgia, then the floodgates open. I was playing around with the All-State Playoff Predictor.
Oh.
On ESPN.com. And if you do Alabama along with Florida State, Michigan, Texas, and Oregon this weekend, it spits out the 4 playoff teams as such. Michigan, Florida State, Oregon, Texas, and that's 4. No SEC.
Really?
So then we get to have the good old conversation between a 1-loss conference champion, Alabama, Texas, they already played each other on the field this year.
Yeah.
And you still have your 1-loss Georgia sitting there, and you still have your 1-loss Ohio State sitting right there as well.
Boy, that's a real log jam at 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's doomsday. I don't even want that. I don't want that because then we have to do the whole Alabama thing again, and I'm just over it. I just want to kick out Alabama.
But those other 4 teams will also say, why does Michigan get to play in the playoff if they've been cheating all season?
Yeah, I don't even know.
That's going to happen.
I guess
it's going to happen.
I guess so. I think Georgia's winning this weekend. I know that some people want to see the world burn, but in this case, I do not. Georgia, let's say Louisville wins and they beat Florida State in the ACC title.
Please, Louisville.
That's a possibility.
Please, Louisville.
Then we could get a little fun with the playoff. That enters, Texas is basically waiting for somebody to lose. The winner of the Pac-12 title game is in.
Seems pretty obvious. Very Ohio State, Michigan-esque here.
Michigan is beating Iowa, and they're in.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 other games, the ACC and the SEC, that could throw things sideways. If it's Louisville and Georgia and Michigan and Texas and let's just say Oregon this weekend, here's what the playoff predictor spits to me.
Okay.
Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and Texas. I love that playoff.
Georgia, Michigan, Oregon. Yeah, yeah.
And it's pretty cut and dry. Ohio State would be the 5th team, but they don't really have much of an argument. I love that playoff. I want that playoff. Go Louisville.
Yes, go Louisville. I know you just lost to Kentucky, but show them that you were just looking ahead to Florida State.
I would love to mix those 4 teams up in a bag. I think it's regional. It's representative of the game. That's fun. And you get the best from each zone, right? Oregon's the best team out west.
Mm-hmm.
Cut and dry. Not even close. Georgia's the best team in the South. Michigan's the best team in the Big Ten in the North. And then there's, Texas, who's the best team in Texas. Right? You kick out
Alabama. Region unto itself.
Yeah, you kick out Alabama, you get your new blood, and you have, I think, a kind of even playoff.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
I'll watch it. I watch a lot. Like Georgia and Michigan are, maybe it's Georgia and then step and then Michigan and then step to everybody else. I think Oregon would have something to say about that.
Yeah.
I think Oregon could maybe poke Georgia in an uncomfortable way.
I don't know who would win that playoff.
And Michigan could lose to anybody.
Because
Michigan can lose to anybody in that field.
They've played 11 games. I don't really know how good Georgia is. I don't really know how good Michigan is. I'll be honest.
I love that playoff. So I want that.
Yeah.
Go Louisville.
You got some dogs. You got some favorites. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if Texas happens to lose to Oklahoma State, which is unlikely, that would then clear the path for a nice, fun argument between 1-loss Washington, 1-loss Ohio State, which it's probably Ohio State in that case. But
probably
there's not too many.
Well, Washington could make the case of
they'd make it.
We beat the team that just beat us. Well, you can't criticize us for beating them and not reward us for beating them.
Jed writes in.
Hi, Jed.
Florida State losing is in the cards.
Nice job, Jed. Didn't even see it.
Somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. I would love for Florida State. Florida State is like the lemon of the group. And then I just don't want Alabama out of my own bias.
Yeah.
Nobody else is really a lemon. I'm okay with everybody else being in the playoff. I probably don't want Ohio State in there either because I just don't think they deserve it at this point.
Was TCU a lemon last year?
Yeah, TCU was kind of a lemon last year. Yeah.
I think with how it ended, I kind of don't remember as fondly.
And I guess I don't want
the
Washington.
semifinal.
I guess I don't want Washington either. They're a lemon too. But I think Oregon will
think
take care of
so?
that business. Yeah. I think Washington is kind of stinky.
I mean, they've limped the last month.
No doubt.
For sure.
No doubt. They about got beat by Washington State. Yeah. And
That's
other
the
games
Apple Cup.
before
You throw out the records, Connor.
I guess you do.
The precious Apple Cup, the rivalry game that made people cry about the death of college football, which has been renewed to play until 2029.
So give me Louisville and everything else normal.
Yeah.
Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Oregon, and then Louisville's your ACC champion. Florida State gets kicked out, and then we get a nice, fun, new feeling playoff where I'm not sure who's going to win. That's the plan.
That's what I want. I want to not know who's going to win all 3 games of the playoff.
That's our weekend plan. Set it up. Get in front of your TVs. Watch Gus Johnson not talk about Maserati Marv. Talk about Deacon Hill. Look at big Deacon Hill.
BMW Bo.
Let's see. Big Ten honors, just real quick before we get to reaction overreaction here. Luke Reimer got 3rd team by the coaches, an honorable mention from the media in the Big Ten.
Way to go, media.
Omar Brown, Isaac Gifford, Tommy Hill, Nash Hutmaker, Quentin Newsom, Ty Robinson, and Jamari Butler all got honorable mention in some way, shape, or form. So Luke Reimer was the only person who was honored on one of the 3 teams of the Big Ten, coaches or media, all conference teams this afternoon, which is actually, I could say this in a positive way. Usually we're just like, man, Nebraska's got no players. Nebraska got a great defense this year and they had no players. So awesome. Like, seriously, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. As long as their defense is good. Hey, you need more guys, but as long as their defense is good, you can live with that. NFL reaction, overreaction. Let's see what the writers got for us next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Look at it from the angle of the playoff. Do you just want to go and say, well, cheating, who cares, because it'll be good for ratings? Or do you want to take a stand about, no, we're not going to accept that teams are going to this length to try to game the system and go outside of the rule book to win games just to get to this event.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Cold start Tuesday morning, temperatures in the teens with wind chills in the single digits. Expect partly sunny skies the first half of the day with sunshine in the afternoon. A little breezy at times with south and southwest winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. Highs in the mid-40s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first and experience the difference. They've got the large indoor showroom, 119th and I. You can be inside all kinds of weather conditions. You don't have to worry about it. They've got new and pre-owned inventory from stylish SUVs that fit the whole family comfortably to capable trucks to get the job done. Woodhouse Buick GMC, they have something for everyone, including right now the 23 Buick Enclave Avenir all-wheel drive that welcomes you into an environment where every tone, texture, technology conveys the highest level of refinement. Right now, get $3,000 off MSRP. See dealer for details. Offer expires end of the month. Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first. Huge indoor showroom to shop comfortably in all kinds of weather. In-store or online anytime at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Need a feast to feed the family? Godfather's Pizza has you covered. Build your own feast. Choose a medium specialty pizza, a medium one-topping pizza, and a side, like my new bacon ranch cheese sticks. Freshly baked, loaded with mozzarella cheese, tangy ranch, and topped with an abundance of bacon. Do yourself a favor and build your feast today. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January. Because, mulch. We're cutting prices on hand and power tools, heaters, and pressure washers this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Listen to the Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jays shoot around and overtime shows, the Creighton men's basketball pregame and postgame shows on 1620 The Zone. The Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jays shoot around and overtime shows are also presented by Union Bank and Trust. Hear the breakdown and coverage about your top-ranked Creighton men's basketball team before and after each game, exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone mobile app, and 1620thezone.com.
Today is Giving Tuesday. Donate before midnight tonight to your choice of hundreds of local nonprofits. Give local today for Giving Tuesday. Donate now at shareomaha.org and shareiowa.org.
Remember the simple days of the home phone? You never misplaced that phone or lost a call because of spotty internet or bad reception. It was right there and always reliable, even in emergencies. Well, the home phone is back and better than ever with Community Phone. Community Phone offers landline home phone service starting at just $39 a month. And now get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. There are no contracts. You don't need internet. You can make unlimited nationwide calls, and your phone works, even if you lose power. Plus, you can keep your current phone number or get a new one. With Community Phone, you'll enjoy all the modern conveniences of caller ID, voicemail, spam call blocking, and more. Today, get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. Call 1-866-936-4134 today to get 50% off. 1-866-936-4134.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk with our resident hoops sicko, Jacob Bigelow. He's got a story to tell you all about we talk about Louisville and the sicko nature of their basketball program right now. You should have seen what they accomplished a couple days ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's a hell of a tease. I'm in.
Thank you. But first, let's do NFL reaction, overreaction. We tasked the writers with 5 takes, 5 to 7. Who knows? Today's 5, I think.
Whatever they're feeling.
And we tell them if they're overreacting or not, which is always a good thing to tell, like your wife. It's like, yeah, you're overreacting.
Don't do that, Connor.
Okay.
I care about you.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Take number 1. The Jaguars belong in the conversation with Kansas City and Baltimore in the AFC race.
Writers, you're overreacting.
That's a terrible take.
So I was hoping that the Texans won that game and they missed it on a doink off the crossbar. They went straight up into the air. Because I would be more willing to entertain that conversation with them, I think, than I would be with Jacksonville. With that being said, I think they're good. They're just not in that. They're not in that top tier.
Did you happen, during every television window, now they put up the playoff graphic. 3 p.m. window, Jags had won. Chiefs had not gone final yet. Ravens were obviously playing Sunday night. Jaguars were atop the AFC for
a split second,
a few hours.
Yeah, they were.
No, don't want that.
They are 8-3 with all the other division leaders. Sans Baltimore, who's 9-3, who doesn't now play for another 6 weeks or something like that.
1 game in 23 days.
What a time of the year to have 1 game in 23 days for Baltimore.
Yeah.
So it's funny, and we're going to ask another question about a team in this division, or the writers are in a minute or so here. I don't know how good Jacksonville is. I'm almost positive they're not as sure as Kansas City and Baltimore. But they have the record, and it's gonna at least hold serve for the remainder of the season here.
I mean, oh wow.
Do they have a shot at the 1 seed? Sub question.
Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Bucks, Panthers, Titans to finish the season.
Pretty light.
Yeah.
Pretty light. outside of Baltimore.
Yeah.
And they're going to get their crack at Baltimore. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
They kind of actually do have a crack at the 1 seed.
If Baltimore and Kansas City aren't on their A game down the stretch here.
I'll tell you this, that would make the AFC playoffs a little bit more spicy. I'd sure as hell rather go to Jacksonville than I would Kansas City or Baltimore.
So would their fans. I think a bunch of Chiefs fans would be like, hey, let's go to Florida in January.
Did you see the weekend's latest atrocity of NFL fans in Vegas again? Did you see that stadium?
It would have been Chiefs fans. No, I didn't.
What
see
an embarrassment. Why do we, once again, I will resurface this take. We keep doing this. Let's keep putting teams in Vegas, and it's really just the Raiders at this point. It will be the A's soon, and have other teams' fan bases travel down there in hordes. The entire stadium was red. Every single week, the entire stadium is a different color. It happens every week.
Every week, yeah. I mean,
it's embarrassing.
What?
It's not like the Raiders don't have a fan base.
Why?
They just left them.
Yeah. Why? I guess, is that why the city kind of embraces the Knights? And I don't know if you're the person to ask about this, but like, because that's their team. Like it's not somebody else's team.
I think that's why.
That nomadically came to Vegas.
Yeah, it's organic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Okay.
But I don't think it's Raider fans not supporting them.
There's Raiders fans everywhere.
I think other people like to travel to Vegas, especially Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Right? Like travel to Vegas. So
a lot of banks to rob in Vegas
every
too.
single week. It's embarrassing. And it happened again.
Of those Chiefs, Connor. Take number 2. The Chiefs offense turned a corner on Sunday.
It kind of seemed like it kind of seemed like a switch flipped somewhere around the time where they thought, oh my God, we just lost to the Eagles. We haven't been playing well for like a month now. And we're now tied with the Raiders.
But they were down 14-0.
And Jacoby Myers is like running all over us. We have to do something about this. It kind of felt like that. Now, their problems are still their problems. Although Rashee Rice was pretty good on Sunday. But their problems are still their problems. But they could kind of turn things a little bit more toward the running game. You start with Pacheco, and then you sort of go from there. Maybe they found the formula that works for them on Sunday. It seems like a bit of an overreaction just to say, oh, look, they beat the Raiders, and now they're back. But it just watching that game, it did feel like, all right, maybe something, a light bulb went off in there somewhere.
I think it's an overreaction from the standpoint of that could rear its ugly head in any playoff game against a good defense.
Yeah.
Now coming up, it's Packers, Bills, Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, Chargers. Like I think they can find some offensive footing against those teams. But Patrick Mahomes' first ever trip to Lambeau. Oh, how's that possible?
Well, they're in different conferences.
I guess.
I get, yeah. Next, Riders.
Riders came up with this doozy. The Rams with Kyron. Is it Kyron Williams?
Yeah.
Okay. I nailed it.
Notre Dame.
With Kyron Williams' return, are a playoff team.
Okay, he was awesome, and their offense looked good.
All those rushing yards and then 2 receiving touchdowns.
And I have some concerns about the Seattle Seahawks, as I have had the entire year.
Sure.
So if you look at the NFC outside of the divisional leaders at this point, you will find the following. Dallas.
Yep, I think they're a playoff team.
They're a tier above everybody else that I'm about to mention. And then there's a nice little pot of these teams. Seattle, Minnesota, Green Bay, LA. And I guess New Orleans.
Well, if New Orleans is getting in, it's the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Because they win the South.
Yeah, no,
that's the only way they're getting in.
I mean, they're 5-6 just like the Rams are.
I
but
mean,
like out of that,
they didn't have their quarterback for a long time. So maybe they take an upswing here in this.
Put records aside, who do you just pick? Give me one team out of that group. Seattle, Minnesota, Green Bay, LA Rams.
I got two spots, right?
Just give me one.
Okay.
Just pick your favorite.
Wow.
I think it's the Rams.
I would pick Seattle, but you could talk me into the Rams. I have similar questions about Seattle.
Okay.
After Minnesota last night, I don't know what you do.
Let me introduce to you then the next part of the equation. Seattle's schedule.
Oh, okay.
At Dallas.
I don't like it.
At San Francisco.
Goodness.
Home against Philadelphia.
Oh, my God.
And that will lead them to Christmas where it tapers off quite a bit. But their next three are quite challenging.
Okay, so they're going to be sitting at 6-8 going, woe is me.
Uh-huh. Rams could win 2 out of 3. All 3 of them.
Rams got the Browns, Ravens, Commanders the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I just think
go ahead and win that game against the Browns.
Yeah.
Don't leave it up to chance.
I might like the Rams out of those teams.
The Vikings have
Go Rams.
Raiders, Bengals, Lions. Packers, Lions. They only got 5 games left. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out there. Watch out for the Rams.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's an interesting collection of teams that are going to be on the fringe playoffs in the NFC. Next.
The Colts will make the playoffs.
Okay, let's do the same exact exercise for the AFC. So we have the division leaders, Baltimore, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Miami. I think those are basically all safe at this point. Maybe you could convince me on Jacksonville and Houston. And then you have this little pile right here.
Oh, it's a pile, that's for sure.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Indianapolis,
currently the 7 seed.
Houston, Denver, Buffalo.
I mean, what if I told you the 3 teams that are in right now are going to be the 3 teams out?
Flip them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, give me Houston and Denver over Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I think. And then Indy's just sitting right there, kind of just waiting. They're like, oh, we're 6-5, just like the Texans too. Everybody's talking about the Texans, but we're 6-5. How did the Colts get 6-5? Poll question. Did you know the Colts were 6-5?
I like it.
They've won 3 games in a row.
With Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. I forgot that they existed. Good job by the Colts. They might be a playoff team.
Reference there.
Nice.
The Colts' remaining schedule, if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, go for it.
I know we've been doing that a lot. And
I know. There's a lot of information.
At Titans, at Bengals, versus the Steelers, at the Falcons, versus the Raiders, versus the Texans.
They're going to hold serve at least. So that's like a 500 or 1 or 2 better than that. That's probably enough for the back edge of the playoffs in the AFC.
Now Houston plays Denver this weekend. Very interesting game. Houston has 2 games against the Titans.
They can get in there too.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of room for all outside of division leaders in the AFC.
Denver, I know they beat the Chiefs, but they don't have to play the Chiefs anymore. They do have to play the Lions, which I got some questions about the Lions. 2 games against the Chargers. What are the Chargers?
All right. So there you go. There's your setup in both sides right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to Josh's worst in a second. One more from the writers, though. Josh, let's get this out of the way.
Nobody wants to coach the Carolina Panthers.
Appropriate reaction.
Yep.
Who would want to coach that team right now? They have a crap owner.
Yep.
Who loves firing coaches after 10 seconds. And a quarterback who you can work with and is talented. I don't want to just cast off Bryce Young yet, but there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. Now, let's be honest. There's only 32 jobs in the NFL, and somebody's going to want and take the job, obviously. But it's not very desirable at the moment.
They're not going to get a coach you've heard of before. It's going to be like,
it'll be a
remember when
first
the
timer,
Bears
probably.
hired Mike Eberflus? And you're like, who's Mike Eberflus?
Yeah, I think it'll be probably a first-time guy. That's for sure. So I wouldn't want to coach the Panthers, and I love the Panthers.
I think,
Devout love of the Panthers.
Bit of breaking news out of the Nebraska camp here.
Uh-oh, who's in the portal?
I think, and I'm just speculating here, I think Nebraska has landed Cam Newton out of the portal.
Cam Newton?
Cam Newton. That's right.
What do you mean by this?
Terrence Knighton just tweeted a GIF of Cam Newton.
Oh, the GIFs are back, man.
Yeah. So
okay, so you don't know what the GIFs mean.
No, but
they don't mean anything.
Clearly, Cam Newton is coming to Nebraska.
The GIFs are back. Don't read into them. They're just there.
Skull and crossbones emoji.
Yeah, Coach,
I love you in sign language emoji.
Coaches are back on Twitter. Just ignore it until the news breaks. Those are the rules. Quickly, Josh's bottom 5 NFL teams next on 1620 The Zone.
You can help a child in need experience the joy of opening a gift this Christmas morning. Join 1620 The Zone as we stuff the truck to benefit Toys for Tots. This Friday from 3 till 7 and Saturday from 11 till 4 at the Zone Studio parking lot off 50th and Dodge. Help those in need this holiday season by donating a new unwrapped toy. All the info at 1620thezone.com with Molina Healthcare, 2 Men in a Truck, J-Tech Construction and Solar, and 1620 The Zone.
Hi, everybody. Kent Pavelka here with why I chose Everlevel Concrete Repair for my driveway. They do it all. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, protect the finished product from deterioration, and all at a fraction of the price of replacement. It's not a Band-Aid like other repair methods. Everlevel's products are designed to last, which is why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Better yet, it all comes with a transferable warranty. Protect your concrete before winter. Call Everlevel today for your free inspection. Everlevel. They make your driveway Everlevel. Level up.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
You could go to point A to B, or you could go to point X. Experience the stunning new 2024 BMW X Series lineup for yourself at Onyx Automotive. The BMW X range. Your next X venture starts here. Lease the new 2024 BMW X1 X-Drive 28i for just $549 a month at BMW of Omaha. Online at bmwofomaha.com. See dealer for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Santa says early bird gift cards are perfect for holiday gift giving. Get to Early Bird Brunch in the Blackstone District, Shadow Lake Town Center, or Regency Landing to buy your gift cards. Get $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Early Bird, not your everyday brunch every day. Early Bird offers a variety of pancakes, benedicts, omelets, and a full breakfast cocktail menu. For more menu info, check out earlybirdbrunch.com. Early Bird Brunch, where the early bird gets the pancake and the holiday gift card.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Remember the simple days of the home phone? You never misplaced that phone or lost a call because of spotty internet or bad reception. It was right there and always reliable, even in emergencies. Well, the home phone is back and better than ever with Community Phone. Community Phone offers landline home phone service starting at just $39 a month. And now get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. There are no contracts. You don't need internet. You can make unlimited nationwide calls, and your phone works, even if you lose power. Plus, you can keep your current phone number or get a new one. With Community Phone, you'll enjoy all the modern conveniences of caller ID, voicemail, spam call blocking, and more. Today, get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. Call 1-866-936-4134 today to get 50% off. 1-866-936-4134.
Hey, speaking of wrestling, I saw a lot of takes about that CM Punk guy coming back.
He's back again.
Now, what's that mean?
In Pog form.
Where was he?
Well, he was at a rival wrestling promotion. Found out there were a lot of children running things. Tried to fight a lot of them, and they said, "We don't like you here. You can go." And he said, "Fine, I'm coming home."
Nice. People are really losing it about that one over the weekend.
Oh yeah. CM Punk, Chicago zone.
Cool.
Back.
And the event was in Chicago, right?
That's right.
Wow, what a time. What a time. Okay, Josh, your bottom 5 teams in the NFL. We've talked a lot about the top of the league. Now time to reveal who stinks.
Before we get into that, really quick, I do want to take this time to remind everyone that Brandon Staley is still employed as the coach of the Chargers, even though his team is not in the bottom 5. But I do think that that's a questionable decision. Also, the Arizona Cardinals have 10 losses and are not on this list because they're just not funny. They're not funny. I think nothing of them.
Okay, that's fine. It's your list.
Yeah.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Number 5, the New York Football Giants. They won.
But they won.
They won their second straight game, Connor.
Did you see the Patriots miss that field goal?
I did. Also, the Giants are not last place in the NFC East.
No, yeah. So leave them off the list, Josh.
Their quarterback is an active stereotype, Connor.
He is. He's Pete Davidson.
His parents are in the crowd doing the Italian hands emoji.
Yeah, it's really great. It's a great story. They're 4-8. They're like 2 weeks. They're like 2 more wins away from us saying, "Huh, this is weird."
What's going on there?
They play the Eagles in 2 out of the final 3 weeks of the regular season. They will not.
Amazing.
They will not be making the playoffs, but they could make it fun for us the next 3 if they scrape by the Packers and the Saints.
Danny DeVito, their quarterback, is still 211 yards behind Daniel Jones, who has not played a game in 6 weeks, 2 months. I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah, I think
feels like forever.
That sounds about right.
The Giants.
Now, to be fair to Danny DeVito, as you refer to him as,
I will not learn his real name.
His name is Tommy.
I will not learn that.
Tommy
lives in his mom's attic or something,
and he didn't take over until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know, okay, give him.
She makes his bed every day. What a stereotype.
10-7. This game was not really present on NFL Red Zone this weekend, so I didn't see much of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting that you would say that. Number 4.
Number 4.
Look, I thought about not doing this because they won a football game last night, but
Go Bears!
They set football back quite a ways in that game last night. And also, what are you doing winning football games if you're the Chicago Bears?
Look, dude,
you need good draft picks.
Playmakers make plays.
I get that they need to see what they have in Justin Fields before the end of the season. I get that. But you need draft capital. And I understand.
Nope, you need 4 field goals.
Just garbage football.
Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, DJ Moore was like the only player in the entire game. It was like, oh, there goes DJ Moore again.
Also, NFL. What's with the taunting call on the guy whose helmet broke apart?
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
Also, why are people's helmets breaking apart? That seems unsafe.
Also, why are we calling taunting ever?
Yeah. I would like a league with more bleep talking.
That's the great thing about the Bears, man. They can make this list even when they do something good that seems good on the outside, because it's when it's good, it's actually still bad.
Yeah.
Good job by them.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
The New York Football Jets.
Okay.
They've lost 4 straight. They're 31st in passing, 27th in rushing, 30th in points.
They threw a 1 billion-yard pick six.
They threw it's called a Hail Mary, Connor.
Yeah, I've heard that from corners of the internet that I don't explore. They benched Zach Wilson.
Again?
And they are currently rolling with Tim Boyle.
That's a guy. That's a human. I remember him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they stink.
They actively said no to Joe Flacco. Not that Joe Flacco was going to fix anything, but
yeah, I have no arguments, Josh. I mean, they're really bad. If they had an offense, I'd like to see what would happen. But
I know that,
unfortunately, they do not.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask the question that, like, okay, let's say perfect scenario, the Jets are still mathematically alive in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers comes back. What is he going to fix?
Well, I mean,
like, I understand he's a better quarterback. He can throw the ball into tighter windows.
Yeah, I mean, that does help a lot.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers was healthy, like, I would actually be interested in what was going on here. But he is not, and their quarterback play is bad.
Very.
And that includes Tim Boyle.
Speaking of bad quarterback play,
here comes 2. Number 2.
Well, actually, probably every team on this list, but specifically the New England Patriots.
Oh, how are they not number 1, Josh?
It was close. It was close. They have a coach, though. Mac Jones, bottom 3 in QBR this year, second behind Josh Allen and Sam Howell.
He
in
looks
interceptions.
like he's never played football before.
Yeah. Those highlights.
It wasn't always that way, Josh. It wasn't always that way with Mac. Now, I was never a Mac guy. I was never a believer. But, he has gotten much, much worse at football.
You see a guy throw an interception, and when they come off the field, and I know not everybody believes in body language, but they'll angrily detach their chin strap, or they'll bang a helmet on the bench, like. But he's coming off the bench after throwing interceptions, looking like he's about to cry, like he looks broken.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I think that's actually true.
And his backup, Bailey Zappi, I go to the notebook for this. 1.4 yards per air attempt.
Wasn't Justin Fields worse last night?
Yes. If you look at
like 0.2,
the chart, they'll do the quarterback chart at the end of every game, and it'll show you where they threw the football. Only like 2 of Justin Fields' passes were behind the line, were in front of the line of scrimmage. Really embarrassing. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, you're going to want to throw it downfield because that's when good things actually happen down there. You don't get any yards by throwing it sideways. Although I would have liked to see some more laterals at the end of that game.
Just a couple.
Got to be honest with you.
Also, if you decline that penalty, it's a fumble. You got to stat till the end of the game.
I think so too.
Trust me, I know.
That comes from a stat guy.
I wanted to shut the laptop and go home, but you can't.
Make it so, number 1.
Number 1.
And this is how the Bears won.
The Carolina Panthers, 1-10, fired Frank Reich.
Yep.
4th shortest tenure in NFL history.
Yep.
Shorter than the tenure of Urban Meyer, if you'll remember that train wreck.
Historic disaster.
Yes. They also fired their running back and quarterback coach as well. The Carolina Panthers, Frank Reich, first head coach in NFL history to be fired in consecutive seasons.
Nice.
Owner Dave Tepper,
historic,
went off on a profanity-laced tirade after a 17-10 loss to the Tennessee Titans. That's right.
It's always profanity-laced, and it's always the Titans.
It is. And finally, the Carolina Panthers have the worst winning percentage in the 4 major sports since 2019, 0.303.
Jeez.
In the bottom 5 with them,
Nebraska.
No.
Oh.
The Jets, the Giants, and the Jaguars.
Wow. The Jaguars are good this year.
Yeah. Have you heard they're the best team in the AFC?
So maybe as transfer portal season opens, we could get Matt Rule's wish after all. And Frankie Louvu and Brian Burns can hop in and come play for Nebraska next year.
Come on over, guys.
It actually seems like more of a possibility now.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Those are the top bottom 5 teams in the NFL. They all stink, and the Panthers are not going anywhere from that group.
I would argue the Patriots are a worse team right now.
I wouldn't want to watch that game. I'll say that much.
But with all the office turmoil this week, Panthers kind of secured their spot there.
Yeah, you don't have to rub it in. I appreciate you for not doing that. Jacob Bigelow is next. Let's talk some hoops. Nebraska Creighton on Sunday. We got, I guess Nebraska's, completely off this week outside of that game. And then we take a look around and what else is going on around the country, including our good friends at Louisville. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Visit Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer, to find the perfect vehicle for wherever your plans take you. Shop SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Zuber for Ted and Wally's. One of the things that Ted and Wally's does is go along with the seasons, whether it's the summer or it's the spring or it's the fall, and of course, the winter and holidays, and the holiday flavors are amazing. Let me suggest a couple of them for you. Coffee beignet and ooey gooey cake. You are going to love both of them, and so will your family and friends. Swing by the 2 locations, whether it's Benson, next to Taste of New Orleans, or in the Old Market, and get the holiday flavors today. Grab a gift card while you're there as well, and always tell them Severe sent you.
Hey folks, Kent Pavelka again to tell you about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked, uneven concrete, Everlevel can fix it at a fraction of the cost compared to replacement. This is no Band-Aid. Their products are built to last. It gives your concrete the durable protection it needs, and there's still time. I chose Everlevel for my driveway, and I've got peace of mind with their long-term transferable warranty. Everlevel's products and customer service are top-notch, and that's why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Say it with me. Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Cyber Golden Gable deals are here at Lowe's. Deck your home with a holiday living 4-piece decor set that includes a wreath, garland, and 2 potted trees. A $149 value for just $59. And don't forget to upgrade your bathroom with up to 50% off select vanities, faucets, and shower heads. Hurry, these cyber savings won't last because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 11/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank, any member FDIC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
The Woodcliff Restaurant in Fremont is just a quick sleigh ride from Omaha at Woodcliff Lake. Get a head start on all your stocking stuffers with gift cards from the Woodcliff Restaurant. Winters at the Woodcliff Restaurant are warm and inviting, like a Santa's workshop, but more fun. Stop fighting traffic, parking, and one-way streets. Slow down and enjoy a fantastic dinner at the lake with family and friends this holiday season. The Woodcliff Restaurant is Santa approved. Check them out at thewoodcliffrestaurant.com or on Facebook for specials and events.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. We're the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. And we are joined now on the 42 Degrees of Sorts hotline by our resident basketball sicko, Jacob Bigelow. Hello, Jacob.
Hello, Hap. How are we doing?
Good. How's the beginning of your Creighton, Nebraska week treating you?
It's been relatively light so far. I still think it's odd that Nebraska has the full week off, but after the game on Sunday, Fred made it sound like they have some guys with some nagging injuries. They can use the recovery time and take 2 days off and all that stuff. But it's still a little odd. But so far, it's been on the lighter end.
Yeah, I'm certainly glad that the game is on Sunday and we get the entire week leading up to it, rather than it just like randomly popping up on a Tuesday and it's like, oh, it's here. I'm very happy that the game is on Sunday.
Totally agree. I wish it was maybe the day before, a little Saturday afternoon, but Sunday afternoon is just fine. Middle of the day, I think it'll be just fine. There'll be plenty of juice in the arena.
Oh yeah, I think there will certainly be plenty of juice in the arena. Fred said after the game on the other night against Cal State Fullerton that he felt like maybe over the last couple they had lost a little bit of their defensive edge. And fortunately, Nebraska was able to, they've scored more than 80 now in their last 4 games. So they've been able to make up for it. Nebraska is 7-0 at this point. How do you think all of that translates to a game and a familiar opponent on Sunday?
Well, I think defense is going to be paramount. I mean, we saw it last year up at the game in Omaha. If Fred, before this week, it emphasized, the defense, has to be their constant throughout the year. And thankfully, their offense has been able to pick up the slack, especially in that Duquesne game. They're kind of getting beaten at their own game, offensive rebounds, 50-50 balls, that sort of thing. They got out-rebounded, by, I think, 9. And, I'm sure we'll hear, I don't know when we hear from Fred, maybe tomorrow after Rules, State of the Union, but I'm sure we may hear about some extra physical, tough practices. That's the old coach speak, maybe. But I think defense definitely has to be the key, and that was echoed by Fred and by Rink Mass. After the game on Sunday.
How much are you in on just like the hype train right now? Like, or how much are you sort of cautioning against it at this point, if at all? I mean, they're 7-0. There's some real like buzz around the team. It leads into the to the biggest non-conference game of the season. Actually, a super important 4-game stretch here where you jump into the Big Ten for 2 games in the middle to the end of next week. Like, we're obviously the rubber's about to meet the road, but where are you sort of at with how you feel about this team compared to what the expectations were?
I'm still kind of in, kind of tampering it down. I know, Debbie Downer, but I've seen, the starts to many Nebraska basketball season from many different perspectives, and like they said after the game on Sunday, 7-0 is pretty darn good, first time since December of '92. But I mean, they've won all the games that they're supposed to win, and it's where they should be with the schedule they scheduled, and it's going to get kicked up a notch in these next 4. I'll probably have a more definitive opinion, in terms of hype train, after the game in Manhattan in a couple weeks against K-State.
Juwan Gary and his return to this team has been pretty important. Eh? Has he become more of an offensive weapon than you expected him to be?
At times, we've been talking a lot about how much he worked on his jumper, and then he hit his first three on Sunday and airballed the next three.
Yeah.
So it was kind of pretty. There goes all that talk. But you can definitely see he's hunting his shot more. He's definitely put the work in with his jump shot. He went from playing in a shoulder sleeve last year, and then he got popped out of place and he had to have surgery. So I'm sure that was part of the process in the way back. One-handed shooting drills, that sort of thing. But you can see he's put the effort into it, and it's just he's come back at a torrid pace. He's been in double figures every game, and he's been a huge addition for Nebraska.
We'll go a little deeper on the game, because since it's the next one for Nebraska, like, how do you think they play it where Nebraska has, in really all their matchups, when Fred Hoiberg has played Creighton, it has been, we're gonna double, triple down in the middle, and it's pretty normal with what Nebraska does just defensively in general. We're gonna get there in the middle, and we're gonna sort of take our chances with the three ball. Is that what you would expect on Sunday, or does the look of this Nebraska team allow them to do some different things with matchups?
It's tough to tell. I kind of lean toward option one just based on the athleticism in Nebraska's backcourt. I think that the one-on-one matchup with Trey Alexander is gonna tell me a lot.
That's the tricky one for sure.
Yeah, if they're switching everything and just switching guys onto him, that'll tell me a lot. But I feel like part of me thinks that they might do that, and then part of me also thinks Creighton might turn the tables on him and say, "Oh, you guys want to shoot all these threes? We'll let you. Like, go right ahead. Show us you can make them." Because both teams are in the top 15 in the country in terms of how many three-point attempts are out of their total field goal attempts per game. Both teams love to shoot the three, and we've seen both ends of the spectrum for what Creighton looks like when they're making them, what it looks like when they don't, and we've seen the same for Nebraska. So I'm sure there will be plenty of threes taken, and I'm interested to see what the game plan is from both sides.
Jamarcus Lawrence, I would assume, would probably get the first crack at Trey.
Yeah, probably, just in terms of lateral quickness and athleticism. I've liked what I've seen from Jamarcus in terms of being able to speed it up. I think his handle's gotten a lot better on offense, but I would guess he probably does get the first shot.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then there's some other stuff, like, on the other hand, Gary offensively, if he's there, that provides a really different look. That he's a tough physical guy, and the guy on him, I guess, would be Mason Miller. I'm not sure sort of what they would do there. This is quite the interesting just sort of matchup with 1 to 5, how you look at the starting lineups with these two, which probably tells you, actually, Jacob, that it's probably going to be a lot about the bench and who steps up off of the second 5.
Oh, absolutely. And, we've seen probably more bench production from Nebraska's bench recently, just because of, Gary coming back, and he's embraced that first guy off the bench role. But I also feel like that's been one of the big, questions with Creighton for their season in general, is bench production and what they can get from the guys coming in to give the first 5 a breather. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going into the game on Sunday, and we'll see how Creighton bounces back. They're going to have a full week off since that Colorado State game, going down to Stillwater, and I don't think Okie State's all that great, but it's a true road game, so we'll see that on Thursday night and leading up to the main course on Sunday.
So we don't have a line yet, but Ken Palm says Creighton by 1, which that looked a lot different about 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it did. And then Bart Torvik has the same thing, Creighton by 1, and it gives Nebraska like a 49% chance to win, and I think Ken Palm has it at 45.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that may adjust after Creighton's result on Thursday, but it's looking like the analytics say it's a coin flip right now.
This is good. This is perfect. I love it. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year, and I do sincerely. I know people are like, oh, you root for this, you root for this. I do sincerely hope that it's a close game. I really do. So we'll see that on Sunday. Can't wait for it. But we like to talk to you, Jacob, because you pay attention to all corners of college basketball, and you've had a very close eye on our friends in Louisville this year, who have been nonstop pulling off incredible feats with their esteemed head coach Kenny Payne. Tell us, please, because you were texting me about this. Please tell us about what they did over the weekend against New Mexico State and all that went into that.
So just to preface, Louisville, we hear teams referred to as America's team. We hear states referred to as America's this, America's heartland, America's dairyland. Louisville is America's dumpster fire, and it's tough to look away from that basketball program. And they went to overtime on Sunday. I had, was obviously at PBA for the Nebraska game, but I had my laptop on Louisville because I can't look away.
Sicko.
And they went to overtime against New Mexico State. New Mexico State, if you didn't know, canceled their season last year because of a murder investigation and a player hazing scandal at the same time. They're in their first year under a new coach. Their best player wasn't playing, and they still took Louisville to overtime. Now, the game went to overtime even after Louisville fouled with less than 2 seconds to go. New Mexico State has 2 free throws. They can win the game. They called a timeout and iced their own shooter, who then missed both free throws. The game goes to overtime, and New Mexico State had been in foul trouble. And by the end of the game, New Mexico State was playing with 4 players because 6 of their guys had fouled out. So Louisville found a way to escape what would have been by far the worst regular season loss of the Kenny Payne era. And it was just so much sicko going on at once.
Yes.
That it's like a car accident. I just can't look away from the mess that is Louisville basketball.
That's a team that beat UMBC, formerly known as, the Golden Retrievers, who had the 16-1 by 1 point to start the season, and then lost to Chattanooga at home after that. This would have been far worse than that, but congratulations to them. They avoided the dreaded loss to New Mexico State with 4 players. That would be bad for your resume, I think, Jacob.
Yeah, I don't know if Louisville's really helping their resume by any means.
They don't really need to worry about any resumes, I don't think.
No, except for that staff, ironing out their resumes for when they're probably looking for new jobs at the end of the year. I got a feel for Danny Manning, Nolan Smith. I mean, Kenny Payne's got an all right staff, and it's just one thing after the other. And it's tough for my sicko self to look away.
So honestly, we could just do Louisville every week, or you could come up with like a different dumpster fire that we're just kind of paying attention to. But I love this. I love the bit, by the way, and I appreciate you keeping me updated on these things, because I would never see them. So thank you.
Yes, no, I have 4 eyes and I make the most of them. They're everywhere. What I hear from the people that I know in the basketball community, I learn these things, and I feel obligated. I feel obligated to share of dumpster fires like that one. I mean, it would either be that, or it would be this week in the Tim Miles coaching tree. maybe a crazy quote like we talked about last week, but. There's options. There's options for the weekly bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can give the Tim Miles Coaching Tree Award to Nico Medved this week for wrecking Creighton in the final of the Kansas City tournament.
Yeah, I don't know if he's bought his house in suburban Minneapolis yet. I don't know if he's got in touch with a realtor, or if he's just waiting for that. But Nico Medved, he's a great guy. I've met him. I know that coaching staff pretty well. And they're legit. They're a good team. They play Colorado tomorrow night in the Rocky Mountain Showdown basketball edition, and that'll be pretty good to watch. And you also won't find 5 guards in America better than Isaiah Stevens. So they're pretty darn good, man.
Can speak to that. All right, Jacob, we appreciate it as always, and we'll see you this weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks, Hap. Appreciate it like always, man.
Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated. You could also find his weekly podcast, the Stretch Big Pod. Check him out on Twitter as well. Good follow. And yes, we talk about college football sickos all the time. We found our college basketball sicko. We love it.
It's necessary.
And it's a big week for college hoops in the state. That is for sure. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
I want to hear the thank you at the end of it, too.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. When you order a Big Mac at McDonald's.
No, thank you.
Thank you, caller Connor.
Good job, Connor.
No, thank you.
Maybe it was Connor Stallion. No,
it could have been.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Cold start Tuesday morning, temperatures in the teens with wind chills in the single digits. Expect partly sunny skies the first half of the day with sunshine in the afternoon. A little breezy at times with south and southwest winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. Highs in the mid-40s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Need a feast to feed the family? Godfather's Pizza has you covered. Build your own feast. Choose a medium specialty pizza, a medium one-topping pizza, and a side, like my new bacon ranch cheese sticks. Freshly baked, loaded with mozzarella cheese, tangy ranch, and topped with an abundance of bacon. Do yourself a favor and build your feast today. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
Looking for a pure electric vehicle that does 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds? The eyes have it. The BMW i-Line. 100% electric, 100% sports car, 110% BMW. The BMW i-Line. The electric vehicle that takes you farther than you could ever imagine. Right now, lease a new BMW i4 eDrive 35 for $499 a month at BMW of Omaha. Online at bmwofomaha.com. See dealer for details.
Take your home to the next level with Level countertops, cabinets, and flooring. If you have a kitchen, bath, or closet that is completely dysfunctional, now is the time to make them functional. Level countertops, cabinets, and flooring is your expert for taking your home to the next level. The staff will listen to your needs and dreams and create a unique space specifically for you and your family. Visit the showroom at 192nd and West Maple or online at levelomaha.com. That's levelomaha.com.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. Think about it. Do the math. That's $150 if your team wins.
Yeah, and if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action right now. The app is super easy to use. Wide range of betting options, including not only spreads, but also player props, over-unders, and much more. And a great NFL slate this week to take advantage of, including Niners and Eagles. So visit FanDuel.com. Use the promo code ZONE. That's FanDuel.com/zone and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable. Bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Remember the simple days of the home phone? You never misplaced that phone or lost a call because of spotty internet or bad reception. It was right there and always reliable, even in emergencies. Well, the home phone is back and better than ever with Community Phone. Community Phone offers landline home phone service starting at just $39 a month. And now get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. There are no contracts. You don't need internet. You can make unlimited nationwide calls, and your phone works, even if you lose power. Plus, you can keep your current phone number or get a new one. With Community Phone, you'll enjoy all the modern conveniences of caller ID, voicemail, spam call blocking, and more. Today, get 50% off your first month when you call 1-866-936-4134. Call 1-866-936-4134 today to get 50% off. 1-866-936-4134.
I will file this in the category of things that make you go, Things that make you go, We'll take a peek at Colorado's class of 2024 football recruiting, Josh.
Oh, love recruiting.
We're just like 3 weeks out from signing day.
Fax day?
This ain't June. This ain't April. This is November, almost December. Colorado's 2024 class ranks number 65 nationally. Only 3 spots ahead of their in-state rival, Colorado State.
Oh.
Colorado only has 9 commitments.
That's not enough.
And only 3 who rank in the top 400 nationally.
Oh. So these are real sickos. Like, I want to go to Colorado.
I don't know what their reasoning is. I wish I could tell you. One of them is a junior college guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's from Florida somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Isaiah Walker is his name. Offensive tackle. Now, what Coach Prime and the propaganda will tell you is that, he's going to go out and he's going to get more 5 stars. They're going to flip the roster and do this entire thing. I want people to keep in mind, they're going into their second year. So when you're it's borderline fine to flip your roster of the people that you inherited that you didn't bring into your program.
Yeah.
So you're going to do it again with mostly people that you did bring in and you didn't inherit. And you're going to pretend like that fixed your problem. I would go ahead and tell you that it actually leaves you in the exact same place that you were when you started the first season, which just ended with them going 4-8.
You're still going to have a lot of the depth issues that they ended up having this year. When the 5-star starter gets injured, there's a 2-star guy behind him who is kind of stinky.
And you only have about 3 5-star starters.
Mm-hmm.
They're at important positions, and those guys are good players. I don't know if Shedeur Sanders isn't a 5-star, but he's a good player, right?
Very, yes.
And Travis Hunter is a really good player. He is him. The Heisman's chilling at his crib.
Yeah, going to be really awkward in a couple of weeks when he doesn't get invited to the ceremony.
It was indeed not at his crib.
Maybe he will present it to the winner.
So I would argue that this I guess is probably pretty obvious, but they're in a much worse position right now than they were a year ago. And everyone was thinking that they weren't going to be very good this year, and they didn't end up being very good. And then now you're Coach Prime, and before you were selling the vision and the plan and the glitz and the glam and all this stuff, and it's more difficult to sell that after a year of being bad. And, it's not, you lost your 24 commit for quarterback. You lost your 25 commit for quarterback. So I was reading the story here from, I think it was Ari Wasserman. Yeah. On The Athletic. And I just want to read you this little tidbit here, or just a thought from him.
Hit me with that nuggie.
What now? Is he going to sign a high school class with maybe 1 5-star prospect and flip another 60 players off the roster? Is he going to use the portal to rebuild an offensive line that couldn't block anyone? It's exciting when you flip someone else's roster. It's detrimental when you do it to players that you personally brought in. That's treating players like commodities. And it's a tough sell for future recruiting efforts, both in high school and the portal. Then it got me thinking, when was the last time you saw a picture of Sanders at a high school, or doing an in-home visit, or making a public appearance that isn't an Aflac commercial? Good question.
That is a good question.
Does he even get on planes to recruit high school athletes? Does he leave Boulder at all for recruiting purposes?
He famously lives there and pays taxes there.
One thing is for sure, Sanders doesn't recruit traditionally. He's not a traditional coach, so it stands to reason that he approaches things differently. But is he going to travel across the country to visit 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton of IMG Academy in Florida, perhaps the most important player in that Colorado could sign in the 2024 cycle? Is he even going to go to their house? Even when Sanders landed Hunter at Jackson State, neither he nor anyone from his staff ever stepped foot in Hunter's high school in Georgia to recruit him in person. Dion would argue, of course, that I'm Dion.
I've seen the tape.
I think it's powerful that I don't show up, right?
I become a distraction because I'm famous and everybody wants to take my picture. It's about the kids.
And you can say this and you can do this, but you must win. They didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
Bad spot.
3 5-stars is enough to win at Jackson State.
Bad spot.
Yeah.
I know people are probably, maybe we got enough time for a call here, but like people are probably thinking like, oh, we're going to do this whole thing again this offseason, right? We're going to crap on Colorado, all for Colorado to win again. I'm going to keep crapping on Colorado, by the way, FYI. It's going to keep happening because this is what I see. I don't see this working.
I'll keep crapping until it works, and then I'll swing the way the wind's blowing.
Who you crapping? As Josh once said. Very, very, very quick phone call. We got Doug on the 42 Degrees Source hotline. Hi, Doug. Okay, never mind. We'll take a break. Poll questions. Tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
You can help a child in need experience the joy of opening a gift this Christmas morning. Join 1620 The Zone as we stuff the truck to benefit Toys for Tots. This Friday from 3 till 7 and Saturday from 11 till 4 at the Zone Studio parking lot off 50th and Dodge. Help those in need this holiday season by donating a new unwrapped toy. All the info at 1620thezone.com with Molina Healthcare, 2 Men in a Truck, J-Tech Construction and Solar, and 1620 The Zone.
Woodhouse Mazda is bringing you more this holiday season. Check out the first 3-row Mazda CX-90, boasting a class-leading EPA estimated 25 miles per gallon and seating up to 8 passengers. Shop during the Season of Inspiration event and get no payments for 90 days on all new 2023 and 2024 Mazdas when financed through Mazda Financial Services. Woodhouse Mazda, a drive worth experiencing.
Hey, Connor. What's up? So, you're getting an Auto Express Lane certificate in less than a year?
I need to put my career in the fast lane.
And Jenny, in just 5 months, you earned a veterinary assistant certificate?
It's kind of a pet project.
JC, is that
blood? Yeah, I'll be certified as a phlebotomy tech in just 5 months.
A positive, JC. Earn a career certificate in less than a year. Get started at mccneb.edu/adults. Classes start December 2nd.
This is me at MCC.
With over 45 years in business, Thrasher Foundation Repair makes stressful home repairs super easy with precise repair and genuine care. From basement waterproofing to foundation repair, concrete restoration, and crawl space repair, you can count on Thrasher to handle it with ease and expertise. Schedule a free estimate today at gothrasher.com.
Precise repair, genuine care, Thrasher.
Santa says early bird gift cards are perfect for holiday gift giving. Get to Early Bird Brunch in the Blackstone District, Shadow Lake Town Center, or Regency Landing to buy your gift cards. Get $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Early Bird, not your everyday brunch every day. Early Bird offers a variety of pancakes, benedicts, omelets, and a full breakfast cocktail menu. For more menu info, check out earlybirdbrunch.com. Early Bird Brunch, where the early bird gets the pancake and the holiday gift card.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Who you crapping?
Good job, Josh. Only 4 minutes late on that drop.
Better late than never, they say.
Full questions at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Could Baylor Shireman quarterback Nebraska to one victory?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I really think that.
A lot of FCS teams Nebraska plays.
58% only say yes.
Oh,
interesting. Do we need more billboards around town?
No, I'm good. You need to advertise on the radio if you're a business.
Good one. Need is a strong word, but yeah, okay, maybe no is the answer. 75% say no. Have you ever thought about it?
I have. A lot.
Now, what I was referring to is gumbo on top of mashed potatoes, but that is absent from the tweet.
We could give people a million guesses, a billion guesses, and they would never think that the it is gumbo on mashed potatoes.
No doubt about it. So I just thought about it. Yes, 69% say yes.
Nice.
Interesting. Would you Snapchat your friends if you bagged Will Howard in the portal?
I couldn't find the right phrasing.
I think you got there.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd be Snapchatting everybody.
Oh, yeah.
57% say no. And finally, did you know the Colts were 6-5?
Shocking results here.
I did not.
I didn't.
72% say no.
I'm really impressed with the honesty of our audience.
Yeah, thank you. That's appreciated.
It's a sports-centric audience, so they might kind of puff out their chest a little bit and go, no, I know everything about sport.
I hope all the people that voted in that poll question went to ESPN.com and pulled up the standings immediately. It's like, oh my God, is this true?
They're right. It's right there.
Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
This is the toughest night of television in quite a while. But there is television tonight. NBA, it is an in-season tournament day.
Good.
Great. East Group B at 6:30 on TNT, you got the 3-0 Milwaukee Bucks against the 2-1 Miami Heat, followed by at 9 o'clock in West Group C, the return of Draymond Green to the 3-0 Golden State Warriors as they travel to the 2-1 Sacramento Kings.
So when is pool play over?
Pretty soon.
Okay.
There's a lot of clinching scenarios out there. I believe the tournament begins next month at some time.
Fun.
So
fun for everyone.
We're getting down to the wire here in the in-season tournament. Rousing success. Another rousing success is ESPN's ACC SEC Challenge, which begins tonight, 6:30 on the mothership number 8 Miami at number 12 Kentucky. That's actually a good one. Good job.
Yeah.
And then LSU at Syracuse, 6 o'clock on ESPN2. NHL on Hulu tonight. Hurricanes Flyers at 6:30. Episode 2 of Hard Knocks in season with the Miami Dolphins at 8 o'clock on HBO. I might bang the first 2 episodes out. I haven't started that one yet, but I am interested what that team's like. Movies on TV tonight, Connor. National Lampoon's Vacation.
Hell yeah.
5 o'clock on AMC.
I think I stabbed my brain. 50 yards.
I'll end it there. Perfect dismount.
I have one for you.
Oh.
Watch Welcome to Wrexham season 2 if you want to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Like a baby.
What is this?
Oh my God, what a show.
Just the joy of the promotion?
I
Spoiler
only happy cry. Yes, you know that they got promoted. You don't know how. They tell the stories really well. It clearly means a lot to the community and to Rob and Ryan. It's a great show. It's so well done. And I sat there at 6:30 last night and I just cried.
Wow.
That's awesome. Couldn't recommend it enough. What a show.
Okay.
Watch Welcome to Wrexham on Hulu. That's what we're watching tonight. And if you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.
Live from the host